morning. How's everybody doing? How was your big weekend?
Good.
Ooh. Woo. Carmen, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
How was
are
the
you?
beach?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were the waves rough?
Yes.
It was crazy where we were.
Yeah. It wasn't really like swim weather, obviously.
Oh, it was swim weather for sure. It was just the waves were crazy.
But that's what I'm saying, like swim ocean. Like
you Florida pussies.
I'm not. No, not that. Listen, we were also drinking. I'm not gonna get sucked out. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So
I was getting sucked out too.
Yeah. So I went like waist deep, and then anytime it got crazy, I was like, all right, time to go back in.
The problem we had was the first day it was very rough, and it was cool. It was a little bit of a kind of standing there and getting whacked with waves. And the second day it had churned up all the stuff from the bottom, so it was just grass and seaweed everywhere, and it was gross. I felt like I was getting attacked by I don't know. I kept psyching myself out. And I would feel all this seaweed on me, and I kept thinking it was human hair, and it was grossing me out. I was like, I gotta get out. Yeah. So, but beautiful, just not the best. You're right, not the best beach weather.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still nice, because what was that? Friday, it was like a little cloudy and rainy.
Right, a little windy out, so it wasn't so hot.
Right, so you kind of had to like time it out. But then Saturday was just absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Sun was hitting. I couldn't stay out all day.
Sun was hitting.
Listen, Chad thrives. Chad like lives in the sun, right? Where I have a good like 2 hours, and then I start to die, and I have to go inside or find shade. So, but yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Good. So many things to talk about. One, let's just get this right out of the way. Friday, Superman comes out. Who's in? Anybody? Oh, I'll go by myself. I don't care. I have to tell you, I think it's gonna stink. I think I'm gonna walk away going, oh no, it's way better than I thought. But right now, I think it's gonna stink.
From what I've been reading, either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. There's no in between.
Here's what I think. I think I'm gonna hate it, but I also think it's not made for 53-year-old men. I think kids are gonna love it.
Probably, yeah.
I think kids are gonna love it.
Or are kids like, who's Superman? What are you talking about?
No.
Nah,
Superman's huge.
Like what kids? What age are you talking about?
Any age. It's Superman. It's kind of like you always know about Superman. And then when you see the movie, you're like, oh, Superman.
But like what age though?
Yeah, like my nephew's 8. He knows he likes Superman.
8.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, kids.
Okay.
Under teen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I feel like your whole Comic-Con nerd crowd is going to like Superman.
Yeah, they're gonna analyze it though.
Yeah.
He didn't do the whatever.
Well, evidently he does do the booty boo. Evidently this is like so comic book driven that I think that real nerds are going to appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't think I like this Superman.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't like the actor.
He grew on me over time after watching the trailer and stuff.
One of the reviews said it's very cartoony.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like it's very cartoony, but it may translate very well.
Yeah.
I don't know. One movie that did not translate very well is F1. That movie is a pile of horse garbage. We're still worth seeing. Like if it's on the box, you watch it. You know what I mean? But I went to the movie theater by myself. I paid $9 for a goddamn Diet Coke. $9 for a Diet Coke.
That's wild.
I went to the Cine Bistro in Sarasota. I got up the next day after
By
our
yourself?
gig. Well, I'll tell you why. Because my family was coming down on Saturday afternoon.
By yourself?
They were coming down the Saturday afternoon. I slept in Sarasota on Friday after our gig. I got up the next day. I went to Shark Coast Tactical, hung out there for a while, and then still had 4 hours before they were coming. And I couldn't check into the place, so I was just kind of in limbo. And I didn't want to do the worst thing that popped into my mind. The single worst thing was, hey, buddy, why don't you go to Bread Bandits for a little while? And I was like, don't do it. And do you know, you want to know what an addict I am? I sat in the parking lot and thought, is it worth going to the movie theater if I can't get popcorn? I was like, am I going to be able to sit in a movie theater and not eat popcorn?
Is that why you hated the movie? Because you couldn't have popcorn?
No.
You're not allowed to have popcorn on the diet?
No.
Really?
So I went into the movie. The movie, I went in there at 12:20. It starts at 12:30. I went up to the concessions window, and this is the Cine Bistro, so they got like a little booth.
Anybody celery back there?
Well, I said to the lady, she's like, can I help you? I go, yeah, I just want to get something. And she goes, is your movie at 12:30? And I go, yeah. And she goes, okay, then you have to buy it from me because normally they'll send waiters out there, And I said, I looked at the popcorn, and I looked at the candy, and I went, I'll just have a Diet Coke, please. And she goes, okay. And I was so proud of myself for a moment. And then she goes, that'll be $8 and something cents. And I went, did she just say $8 for a Diet Coke? And then it came up with a thing for a tip, and I had to give her a tip, so I gave her $1 tip. I'm like, I just paid $9 for Diet Coke. I was unbelievable, and I only got one. It wasn't like I had like 50 refills.
What do you think their cost of the cup, the ice, the syrup?
It was a hard plastic cup that they could wash and reuse.
Yeah.
I mean, they may have cost. It may have been
$1.50,
Oh
maybe.
no,
their
like
cost
3 cents.
Like
I would
3
say
cents.
the cup is probably the most expensive part.
Yeah, but they probably
reuse it.
bought that cup with 100 other cups and they reuse it. Oh, and then I thought, what do I do? I almost couldn't let myself pay $9 for a Diet Coke, but I just had no choice.
I feel like that's always been the price, though.
$9 for a soda?
Yeah.
No, I feel like I don't know.
For a long time, if I'll go and I'll get a large drink and a popcorn, and it's always $20.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that might be right.
And it's been like that for at least a decade.
I gotta tell you, I order a Diet Coke and they say $9. I start looking around to wait for her to ask me what I'm looking for and say the helicopter ride that I get with this Diet Coke.
Like Eddie Murphy said it. He's like, I can get blown for $20.
Yeah,
because popcorn is like $10-11 for like a large one.
Oh, and that's
pennies,
right?
That I understand.
With a paper bag.
I mean, obviously, all that. I worked in a movie theater. That's where they make their money on the concessions, not on the movie. So I get it. But man, I was like, am I getting old? That prices of things are bothering me? Or I mean, we always talk about it. But Carmen, if you went there and they said to you $9 for Diet Coke, would you pay that?
No.
I would imagine you wouldn't.
No, absolutely.
I would be like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Like, honestly, that's why I don't go to the movies anymore because it's just so expensive. It's $50 a person. Yeah. By the time you do tickets and drinks and popcorn and stuff,
It's funny because that Friendship movie with Tim Robinson was on the other day, and I go, oh, it's on. And I go, you want to rent it? And Jenny said, yeah. And I go to rent it. It's $20. I go, $20. I go, it's cheaper than going to the movie.
A lot cheaper.
By the way, I saw that. Oof.
Yeah.
Right? For the first like 15, 20 minutes, I was like, all right. And I laughed a couple times, but then it just went off the rails. And I was like, what the F am I watching? And I turned it off.
I laughed a bunch.
I watch it like you guys watch it. I mean, I had times where I laughed in that movie, but they were talking about it like it's the greatest, funniest movie ever.
It's very bizarre, and you really got to be into that.
It's like they went so hard to be bizarre that it's not funny, which is what he does on his show, and why I don't like his show. I heard Ron Bennington talking about it, and that he loved it, and he loved him, and I thought, maybe I just don't get it. I don't know.
I was like, okay, you're a crazy guy. Cool.
Yeah.
It's funny. He didn't write that. It was written by a different guy, whatever. But it seems very much his style, whatever. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was good. Listen, I'm not going to go, oh, everybody should watch this. It takes a certain type, for sure. I was watching Portlandia the other day. How often do you watch Portlandia?
No, I know what it is. But I don't watch it.
God. Portlandia, I watch, I've watched almost all of them, whatever. But I just put it on the other day, and I was laughing so hard. And I was thinking, this is another specific type of person that...
For some reason, I find him funnier.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, do you remember, what is his name?
Fred Armisen.
Armisen.
His tapes they used to do.
Yeah, he used to do these things where he would like walk into conventions that he was not invited to and just go up on stage and start doing stuff.
Or he'd be in Central Park and act like a foreigner because he's so good. He can be anything. Right. You don't know what Fred Armisen is. You don't know what his background is at all, whatever. So he could be anything. So he would just go in Central Park and they would video him asking directions and different stuff in different voices and different dialects and stuff. And you're like, what is this guy doing?
I remember Jay Moore was so mad that they hired him.
Oh, yeah?
Because he didn't go through the stand-up process. And he was like, this is a guy they hired who does videos. He makes his own videos, and they just hire him to be on Saturday Night Live. And, I think that was the time when you realized not everybody had to be a stand-up to be funny. But
I mean, that's Andy Samberg. Those guys came in and totally changed the thing and stuff. Yeah, it's and a lot of times stand-up doesn't translate well. Like David Spade said, he was a middle act or whatever, whenever he got on to Saturday Night Live, and he goes, and then they just like threw me a yellow legal pad and said, "Here, write stuff." And he's like,
Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller is like, I was just there to do news. If they asked me to do anything else, I didn't know what to do. He's like, I wasn't an actor.
Stand in the background, whatever. But David Spade was like, I can barely write stuff for myself. You want me to write stuff for other people? I don't know what to do.
So F1 with Brad Pitt and this other kid and Javier Bardem. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 4.
Yeah.
Visually, I give it a 7. But I mean, this is how bad it was. It is so predictable that that Brad Pitt would be like, the guy would go to him, I guess the choice is yours. And I would go, I guess it is. And he'd go, I guess it is. And like, I would say it in my head before he said it. It was just so awful.
I saw it too.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was all right.
All right.
Yeah.
I bet. But didn't you think that everything that happened, first of all, he cheats. He's not. I didn't get it to where I was like, oh, he's out there battling. He's a tough. I was like, he cheats. He's cheating.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah. I
would just assume they all cheat.
No, but it's not. It's an overt cheat. It's not like he had a secret thing or whatever. Like he does things in the race in order to give them more time and to help his. It's no secret. And but he was cheating. And then they called him out for it and all that, and you're like, but it's not a cool thing where you're like, he'd do anything to win, he's the best. You're like, no, this guy's cheating. It was just terrible. I didn't like it at all.
I thought he wasn't cheating though.
He was. He went by hitting the sign when he hits the sign. And twice he did something to bring out the red flag so that they would,
spoilers.
Would have more time. It's just when he died. No, I'm just kidding. It's just
At any point do they say Robin is racing?
No,
I'm not seeing it.
And I'll tell you, I left Days of Thunder and I was like, I want to drive 100 miles an hour and I want to go watch NASCAR. I loved Days of Thunder. I left this movie and I was like, F1's garbage. The best thing at F1 could happen is a car goes flying through the crowd.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was that bad, but it wasn't
like it at all.
I went in really I wanted to like because I heard so much hype about it, and it was
Brad Pitt's still cool. And Jerry Bruckheimer made a Jerry Bruckheimer movie. The soundtrack's there and all that, but it's not. It's just a lot of garbage.
Completely packed theater.
Yeah. Oh, dude, a 97 person capacity in the theater that I was at. There was 3 seats open.
Completely packed theater.
Wow.
And I probably the only person that didn't think it was amazing.
Oh, really?
Because my entire family thought it was awesome. Everybody coming out thought it was awesome. And I was like, it's all right.
There was one scene.
I got bored at the end.
There's one scene where there's an accident. I'm not going to say what it is, but the lady next to me went, oh, and she put her hands up. And I went, it's not real.
There was a big gasp in the crowd. And I was like, whoa. I got bored at the end. I was like,
I was bored. I was like, bored.
Can we just get to the last race?
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, let me guess, this is gonna happen now.
Well, yeah, I mean, you knew what was gonna happen.
I know, but
it's your typical
Maverick. I had no idea what was going on in Maverick. You didn't know if Maverick was gonna die,
nah,
and if he lived.
Well,
I thought he was gonna die.
No,
I mean, they're gonna make a third Top Gun.
Yeah, you know what's gonna happen.
You thought he was gonna die in this one, and Bruckheimer said,
right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like to not know what's gonna happen the whole movie and be surprised.
The good guys win always.
Yeah. Not always.
But
sometimes the good guys win and the bad guys, the good guys lose, but they beat the bad guys.
The plot was very much like the Rocky Balboa movie. It was very similar to that, where you got the young driver
comes back,
who's coming up, and then you got the old man.
But of course, the old guy has not a penny to his name. But he is not doing it for the money. He doesn't want it for the money. I'm just in it for the lifestyle. The race.
I've said a million times, I would love to see a movie like one of the big action movies or something like that. 5 minutes in, Bruce Willis goes on a rope and he swings across and he kicks open this big window and it crashes and just cuts his back. And he lays there just dead. That's it. And then just the credits roll and go, that's what really happens.
Right. Or he gets rope burned.
Game of Thrones. That's what made Game of Thrones so good. Is they killed off what you thought was the main character in like 2 episodes.
If you kill a prominent character, it's a great show. We've always said, John Brennan and I have that discussion all the time. If you kill major characters, you're a great show because you can continue on without that character.
At that point, nobody is safe because like they just kill off the main guy. What happened?
When Walking Dead first started, it was like that, and then it changed, whatever. But when Walking Dead, it was like you killing off these people. You're like, oh my God, so-and-so just died. That's crazy.
Nobody's safe at that point.
Yeah.
I thought Joe was having a heart attack. Were you sneezing?
Yep.
He just killed off Pap.
I thought he was puking.
He bent over and he was just like jolting. Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a couple extra bucks and some time, see the movie. It's fine. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's just a predictable pile of horse.
Not loving it. I feel like I'm definitely in the minority because everybody was coming out like, oh, it was so great. My whole family thought it was fantastic. And I was like, it's all right.
I walked out there and I was like, what did I just do? I paid $9 for a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And watched Brad Pitt look sexy on the screen for 2 hours.
He does look good.
I mean, he looks old, but he looks good.
He looks good. He sounds good.
Yeah, and he's a good actor. Like, I don't know. And then the whole thing between him and Javier Bardem. Oh, back in Monaco. But back in Monaco, is this from Monaco? Nobody cared about Monaco.
Yeah.
You're saying it like we're all like, oh, back when they were in Monaco. You know, it was just, it was terrible. It was really, it's awful. It's awful, and I bet there's people driving around listening right now going, yeah, I thought so too. And then there's other people like, no, it was the coolest movie ever.
Yeah, you're the first person I've heard that didn't like it, and then I'm the first person that was like, it was all right.
My brother-in-law, I remember when we saw Independence Day, and he was like, oh, that was pretty good. I go, that stunk.
Yeah.
And he goes, you don't like any movies. I go, when I leave right away, I don't. I'm like, it's just so... And then I think about it, and I'm like, it wasn't so bad. And then Independence Day, I've watched 1,000 times since then, and I'm like, it's all right.
We're leaving in the car, and my daughter goes, you just hate everything.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Like, that was a good movie. You just hate everything.
But I will tell you, like, can you honestly think of the last great movie that you saw that you were like, that was great? I can tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Maverick. Top Gun Maverick.
Great. Maybe. Great. Yeah.
Was the last movie that I saw that I was like, that was great. And watched it a million times after that.
The movies that I've seen that I've liked are movies that I watched by accident, or not by accident, but like I watched that movie with Michael Keaton where he's the hitman who's dying.
Oh,
the Knox movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was surprisingly good. I didn't know what it was going to be. I took a chance on it. It was great. I love that movie I was watching the other day about the guy who hires the folk band to come play I forgot the name of it. He hires this folk band to come play for him for a private concert, and at this hotel he owns. He hit lotto, this guy, and he has all this money, and he lives on this remote island, and he hires this band, and they were like a folk duo, and they were a couple. And they had since broke up, but he hired them both to play together. And it's a funny movie. And it's an original story. And then you get zinged at the end with a little bit of a swerve.
Yeah.
And it's like a really, and I was foreign and I didn't expect any of it to be good. And I was over. I was like, that was great.
Yeah, but that's the thing also is it's probably a small foreign independent film where it's made and it's not going to be a big blockbuster movie, whatever. All the big blockbuster movies, the majority of them are all the same. Like he said, that's Rocky in a race car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those are all kind of the same thing.
It's your typical sports movie. Like the storyline is like any other sports movie you ever watched.
But think about Days of Thunder. Okay.
Yeah.
Cole comes in from doing sprint cars or open wheel or whatever he did. And he raced and he was fast, but he was terrible. And they hook him up with one of the greatest actors of all time to teach him how to drive. And they can't get it on the same pay. Like for all these races, they're losing sponsorship, they're losing money, they're losing everything. They're doing terrible for the whole movie. And then those two guys finally connect, and it connects on the track, and they start getting better and better and better, and they win. Happy story, but really a good story.
That was exactly the plot of F1.
It was not.
They were going to lose the team.
F1, they brought in the old guy who could have been a champion, but he was too rough around the edges, didn't want to.
It was basically just like Days of Thunder.
Prefers to live. Here's the other thing, Galvin. Here's my version of what you said about Bruce Willis sliding through and cutting his neck. Brad Pitt lives in a van. He lives in his car. Nobody stops to think what Brad Pitt's balls smell like. He must be gross. There's no water in there. He's not taking a shower. It's just... And then at the end,
you went in way too deep, man.
Listen, I'm just thinking like we can look at Brad Pitt and you're like, man, that must be awesome. He lives in his van. He answers to no one. He travels, goes around. He's got gross balls. He lives in the back of a van and hasn't taken a shower in like 3 days. And he's just gross. Like you look at him.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Huh? Lethal Weapon. He lived in an RV.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing. The reality of it is how great is it to be in the middle of a nowhere in a van?
This is what happens when you go to the movies by yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of the plot, you're thinking of Brad Pitt's balls.
Yeah.
His sweaty van.
I was just, I don't know. And then at the end is the dumbest thing ever.
It's almost the same as Days of Thunder, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder, you walk away and you're like, Days of Thunder.
It's very predictable. It's your typical sports movie type. You got the up-and-coming rookie, the hotshot rookie, and you got the old guy who once was the hot rookie, and he shows the young rookie what he did wrong.
But that's not true. None of that is true about Days of Thunder. There's no hotshot, and there's no rookie. I mean, there's just a rookie.
Right.
There's just no hot shot. There's no. In this case, they had to bring in the old guy who's rough around the edges.
I have no idea, but I'm assuming that they go and they're like head to head, whatever, and Brad Pitt lets the young guy win or something.
Oh my God! Oh. How did you figure that out?
Yeah,
I mean, you're kind of wrong, but but I mean that is most of the movie. Yeah. At the end, I'm just spoiling right now.
Oh, jeez.
No. But I don't know. I don't want to spoil it. There's nothing to spoil, but I don't want to say anything that's going to ruin it. Brad Pitt at the end, guess what? It ends on a high note. Okay. Brad Pitt has the option to do whatever he wants after that. So what does he do?
Oh, you're going to spoil it.
No, what does he do? What does he do?
He retires.
He just goes back into the
you're just dying to ruin it for everybody.
There's nothing to ruin it. Everybody knows the end already. Galvin already knows. Didn't even see it.
You're just dying to ruin it for. You didn't like it, so everyone must suffer.
It's terrible.
He goes back to his sweaty van.
Yeah, you're 100% right. He's back in the van.
What did you expect though? What do you think would have happened? It's your typical
in the movie.
The
he
good
says
guys
to him,
win always.
The whole theme of the movie is he says to him in his handsome Spanish accent, "If you win F1, you can say for one day, you are the best in the world." Guy is the best in the world. What does he do? Back in his sweaty ball van, driving around the desert. I'm just going to go back to where I feel best, where nobody tells me what to do, and I got the whole world at my fingertips. Shut up, stupid. The movie's awful.
Now it's awful.
Yeah, I think you're being very dramatic.
Listen. There was nothing in that movie that made me go, "Oh wow, at all."
I think this is just when you went to Back to the Future musical and you were shocked that there were too many songs in the movie. In the
Back
musical.
to the Future musical. I looked at my son and I said, "Do you like this?" And he didn't want to hurt my feelings. And he went, And I looked at Ava and I go, "Do you like this?" And she's like, And I go, "Do you guys want to leave?" And they both went, "Yeah." I went, "Okay, good. But it's not just me."
The reason you like because there were too many songs.
Yeah.
And the musical is in the name.
Yeah, I know. No. But I didn't expect there to be that much music. Like,
right.
It'd be like, "Hey Doc, hey Doc, hey Doc, hey Doc. It's me, Marty. It's me, Marty. It's me, Marty." Like every word was a song. Right. It was too much.
Yeah, I think that's what a musical is.
Yeah,
I think you're really describing.
I think we're looking for a movie.
Like this was a pretty like F1 was. I think it's definitely way overhyped, but it's your typical generic sports movie. They all have the same ending. Good
with
guy
Jerry
wins.
Bruckheimer producing it.
Good guy wins in the end.
Yeah. Oh, spoiler.
Yeah, that's how anything always happens.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. And at the same time, I encourage you to go see it if you really want to see it. You're not going to walk out of there feeling like I did.
They definitely don't need our endorsement because, like I said, it was packed.
And I wanted to love it. I went in there and I was like, I went to go see it by myself and was excited to go see it. I wanted to love it.
I think you went in with your expectations too high. Which
high that I was going to get a little bit of a drama in a movie.
Because I didn't love it, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was that bad.
It was bad. I thought about going live from the movie theater, going, "This sucks. I can't." If it wasn't so packed, then I would have went live and be like, "Save your $9."
You're going to hate Superman, by the way.
You might be. Right.
You will hate Superman.
I went to Shark Coast Tactile and I enjoyed that way more. I went in there and the first I see Will and I go, "What's up, buddy?" He's like, "What's up with you?" And I look around and I go, "Can I tell you something? I think I have enough guns." He goes, "Oh, you get to that point. You have enough." And I was like, "Yeah, left with a gun."
Yeah.
I didn't know about the specific one that they made and I liked this one, so I left with another one. Yeah. Yeah, I get it's one of those things you can never have enough.
How many Diet Cokes do you got?
No, with that gun?
Yeah.
6? No, I'm just kidding.
All of
so
them.
expensive.
You have a gun.
Yeah,
give me the Diet Coke.
True.
Trick question.
Yeah, I left with a gun, and I liked it, and it was good. And I'll tell you, I was I'll tell you, I was a revolver, which I'm not a big revolver fan.
Oh,
yeah,
but I got
old
a revolver.
School, like the old West.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
kind of.
You got
Big
a
long barrel. No, I'm just kidding.
carry it on your hip.
I could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Get the holster, hang down low.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a gunfighter in the West,
yeah.
all right, you have 2 guns, you have 1 gun.
I mean, you always want to.
You always want to.
Yeah.
But if you did have 1, are you crossing over
No.
to the right? Or
Over
are you
my
coming
belly?
straight? Are you coming straight up?
I have to go straight up.
All right.
I don't want to interfere with my belly button.
Yeah. All right.
Trying to get over the.
Yeah. I get you.
Did a lot of shirt swimming this weekend.
Oh yeah.
You didn't test taking
No.
your shirt off?
I could have too. I could have, Carmen. Can I tell you why? Because we were like on a private beach, and there was other families there, but they were like, it was like very small and limited. And the family next to me, there was like 12 of them, and they were all Spanish. So even if they were to say anything, all I had to, if I heard a couple of gordos in there, I would have known that they were talking about it. But also, they were not the skinniest people either. And there was a woman there that was so pregnant, I thought she was going to give birth that day. And wearing a bikini, and it was the most adorable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just to see that giant belly.
That's a trick. Vacation with fat people.
Fatter people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the mall, took my shirt off, just walked around.
Show off.
It's a no big deal.
Show
Yeah.
off.
What's going on?
But I am very much looking forward to the Bone Beach Bash. 'Cause
Yes.
That's next up on our radar. And
Yeah.
so can I give you the breakdown real quick of what happened Friday night at the Beach Club?
Yeah.
So Beach Club has been very successful for us over the years. We've played there a lot. It's been filled with our listeners, and we've had a great time. Tom sends us a video of the stage to show up the setup and all that.
Because
And
they
looks
changed
great.
it up a little bit.
Right.
Since the last time we were down there.
And then the crowd, dead as can be. Carmen, we've never walked onto a stage to a dead crowd ever.
Bright lights.
It was like 6 people in there. We were like, oh boy. So we walk in, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, I mean, I will probably never ask us to play this place again. And that's terrible because it was a good time. It was 4th of July weekend. You were like, how can this be so dead?
I thought maybe everyone's at the fireworks.
That's what I think was the problem.
Yeah.
Because the fireworks went on. We went on at 9:30, and the fireworks ended at 9:30. So I think everybody was still outside. So we get up there, and there is, in reality, there's probably about maybe 50, 60 people in there. And a majority of them, I would say, are there to see us and are our listeners. I recognize some people. Some people waved when I got there. So I'm like, all right, well, we have some people here. So maybe, there'll be a fun crowd. And then we started playing, and it was like the Pied Piper. The place filled up in 5 minutes. It was filled up. But the problem is, Carmen, it filled up with all 20-something-year-olds who had no idea who I was, who the show was.
Like,
nothing.
like 23 and younger.
Yeah, they were all kids. Like half of
Also-
them I would have checked. Like I said to Pete, I go, if you're going to bang any of these girls, you better check their ID first. Yeah.
Also, I don't think I saw a girl that was under a 9.
No, they were all smoking hot.
Beautiful 22, 23-year-olds. It was wild.
And so now it's packed, and they're watching a bunch of fat 50-year-olds play rock and roll music, and I'm like, this is, I don't know how this is going to go over. By song 3, they were one of the best crowds we ever played to. Loved Pap, loved Josh. Josh, if it's one thing he's really great at, is getting the crowd off of the stools up to the stage and rocking out. And he had them, man. He was great on Friday.
Good.
I was going to say, a live band will do that. You know what I mean? If you go to a club and you're expecting like the normal DJ and that's just your spot that you go to, which the Beach Club is.
Right.
Like, and then you get there and there's a live band. It like changes your mood around.
Better?
I feel like. I think so. But again, that's, back
Normally I walk in, see a live band, and go, Jesus Christ.
But also, think about this, Carmen. It's a bunch of 22-year-olds that want to dance to whatever hoochie song, this, that, and you walk in and it's a bunch of 50-year-olds playing classic rock.
Right.
But you guys do play like the dance
hits.
music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they all know the songs
You kids
from
like
their
Bon Jovi?
parents and stuff. And it's easy to dance to. Like you guys have a very white girl dance playlist.
Yes.
I got to tell you, Pete was soloing on one of the songs, and there was like 6 girls in front of him, like it was the Beatles on Ed Sullivan.
Yeah.
They were like, screaming and
unbelievable.
stuff. And I go, are we being punked right now? Like, this can't be real. Pap gets done with the first song he does with us. One more song.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
They start chanting for him.
Are you sure
Even
Tom
more.
wasn't like paying girls in the
No,
fight
listen,
to come in?
I went to
I'll take care of it, boss.
John plays bass on Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
And I went to the side of the stage and videotaped. It's up on our Instagram if you want to see it. the way that crowd chimes in with the bomb bombs, you're like, this is insane.
We had him.
Yeah, it was good, Joe. Yeah. You had the kick move going. It was great. It was a great time. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, it's a new week. Carmen will tell you what we have to give away. We'll play a little Sporkle. I got other things I want to talk about that happened this weekend that we didn't get to because I'm too busy crying about F1. It's the Mike Calta Show. Sporkle's next on 102.5 The Bone. All right, Carmen, new week, new things to give away. What do we have to give away this week? I got to imagine that Legends of Zelda is coming pretty soon.
It is, but we do not have tickets for it.
Oh.
I think you're getting banned.
Yeah.
We have tickets for The Offspring.
Oh, that's Saturday night at the amphitheater.
Correct. We have tickets for Suicide Boys.
Okay, that is in August.
Kesha.
She sang the P. Diddy line still, or did she
No,
change it?
She takes it
She
out.
changed it and let everybody knows that she's a good person. She changed it.
Thank you, Kat.
Thank
I
you.
love that. Whenever people are like, oh, we don't do that anymore.
I read a new thing this morning about P. Diddy. It said that a new witness says he used to masturbate. Oh, is that not news or anything?
Oh, no, yeah.
He used to masturbate into Biggie's shirt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But my question is, did Biggie ask him to do that?
I don't know.
Did he know?
Oh, I don't think he was wearing it at the time.
Yeah,
I think it was after he died.
A shirt on or off.
I miss my Biggie.
Hey, P. Diddy, I'm gonna go out there. Before I go out there, take care of yourself on my shirt.
Yes.
We have tickets for Monster Jam
All right.
and A Day to Remember with Yellow Card.
All right, let's give those away right now. A little bit of Sporkle. Here we go. Carmen, we've discussed this on the show. I don't normally wear deodorant.
Okay.
But I'm telling you right now, I'm being honest with you. I don't normally wear deodorant. As long as I take a shower every day, my armpits don't even get a bit smelly. You could rub my armpit at the end of the day, smell your hand, and you get nothing. I'm telling you.
It's unbelievable. You're an anomaly. Farts don't smell. Armpits don't smell.
Listen,
It's so
once-
perfect.
No, but once you stop using deodorant and you let your armpits like detoxify or detox,
You become nose deaf.
Yeah.
No,
Chad doesn't wear deodorant.
My wife would be the first one to be like, "You stink. Get away from me."
Chad doesn't have hair.
Listen, if I could, I'll be honest with you. If somebody will take this chance from me, okay, I will not wear deodorant for one day from the time I wake up till the next day on the show. I will not take deodorant. I will not take a shower. Smell my armpit. If my armpit smells like BO, I'll put $100 on the table and you take the $100. And you'll decide. You smell it. You just got to be truthful. Okay? You just got to be truthful. I'm telling you.
Well, then Pap's out.
Yeah.
And then the other problem I have is that so it was hot out and we were getting ready to go to dinner. So I came back from the beach, took a shower, and I'm like, I should probably put on deodorant because I'm wearing a different shirt now. It's going to be hot outside. So I put on deodorant. When we came home that night, I took my shirt off. I couldn't even get past my own armpit smell. It smelled so bad. And I was wearing deodorant. It smelled like rotten grapefruits in my armpit.
You're saying the deodorant causes you to smell?
Yes, because what Carmen just said makes sense. I went back to being gross. I don't know.
Again, like Galvin pointed out, your farts don't smell, your armpits don't smell.
Listen, there's a time when my farts stink like all hell.
We know.
And there's a time where I just am blowing. You know what? I'm serious. Let's just play sport.
You don't think that seems
You
weird?
just shut your mouth.
He's an anomaly.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's exceptions to the
Only
rules.
guy.
Yeah.
When I
Carmen is a keeper, Sporkle.
by the way, when I look at you, I go, that guy's armpits and farts probably don't smell. That's the first thing I think of.
Yeah. Not surprised at all, are you?
I hate it here. Carmen's a keeper, Sporkle. Pat is your judge and scorekeeper. Carmen, what are we playing today?
Okay,
Can you lower that music a little bit? Just a
Yep.
little loud. Thank you.
Of course. We're going to be playing 3 songs, 1 artist or band. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 songs from 1 album, and you're going to give me the artist or band,
All right.
whose songs they are.
Got it.
Okay, your first one, Marvin's Room.
Drake.
Mike. We Found Love. Where Have You Been? Birthday Cake.
Katy Perry.
We Found Love. Where Have You Been? Birthday Cake. Rihanna. Maybe Your Baby. You Are the Sunshine of My Life. Superstition.
Stevie Wonder.
Galvin. It's Too Late. I feel the earth move so far away.
Three Doors Down. I know what it is now, I think.
It's too late. I feel the earth move
Oh, man.
so far away.
Gladys Knight.
Carole King. No point.
It's not who I thought.
Teardrops on My Guitar. Our song. Picture to
Elton
Burn.
Eric Clapton.
Teardrops on My Guitar. Our song.
Oh, he was your song.
Yeah.
Picture to Burn.
Peter Frampton.
Taylor Swift.
Oh.
The One That Got Away. Firework.
Katy
Calif-
Perry.
Yes, Geo. Imagine.
John Lennon.
Oh.
7 Rings. Break up with your girlfriend. I'm bored.
No idea.
Imagine 7 Rings. Break up with your girlfriend. I'm bored.
Yeah, right.
Ariana Grande.
I like that last song. That sounds good.
Mhm.
Your next one. Semi-Charmed Life.
Three Doors Down.
Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye
Three Doors Down.
Blind. Galvin.
It was 3 something.
Alive.
Pearl
Cheap.
Damn.
Cheap Thrills. The Greatest.
Oh.
Sia. The Girl Is Mine. Beat It.
Paul
Michael
McCartney.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
That
Mike.
stinks, though. That's Paul McCartney and Michael
Well, it's
Jackson.
Michael
The first
Jackson's
one.
song,
Yeah,
though, yeah.
yeah.
Gotta wait for the rest of them.
I know.
Point Michael.
And Pep, we're halfway there.
Oh, man.
Gio has a single point on the board. Michael and Galvin are tied with 2.
Oh, it's a runaway.
All right, 3
guys are crushing
songs.
me.
One group or artist. Your next one. Selling the Drama. I Alone.
Live.
Live. It's live.
Yeah.
Oh, it is live.
Is it?
Yep,
yeah, but
it's
it
live.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You spent it.
I mean, it's live.
I say leave A.
Pep.
Point Galvin.
All right.
I mean, it's pronounced live, but it's spelt the
Spelled the
same.
same.
So
Yeah.
I would give it to you.
All right.
All right, your next one. All About That Bass. Lips
Meghan
are
Trainor.
moving.
I knew that.
Galvin.
You
Okay.
can name a third song from Meghan Trainor.
Pinball Wizard.
The Who.
Ooh.
Galvin. Another sad love song. Breathe Again. 7 Whole Days.
Anita Baker.
Paul McCartney and Wings.
Another sad love song. Breathe Again.
I have no idea.
Paul
7
McCartney
Whole
and Wings
Days.
were silly love songs. Not sad.
Yeah.
Tony Braxton.
That was close. I said Anita Baker. That's what I was thinking.
Why was that close?
Because there are 2 ladies.
Okay.
No point. Rosanna.
Toto.
Make
Oh, come on. I'm in the middle of laughing.
Geo.
No.
Oh,
That was Mike
okay. Okay,
No.
I'm not over there. I
I
can't.
need every point.
Mike. Your next one, Chop Suey,
System
Sit
down.
down. Damn it.
Geo,
This is
Just a Girl, Spider Webs.
no doubt. Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
That is what he said. Geo. And Pap.
Oof.
We're on the last 3.
Oh.
Yeah, give it to me.
Gio and Michael are tied with 3 points on the board, and Galvin is ahead by 2. He's winning with 5.
Is that what you wanted?
No. It's unfortunate.
All right. 3 songs, 1 artist or band. Last 3. Here we go. Live to Tell.
Madonna.
Papa Don't. Mike. Try. Just give me a reason. Blow me. One last kiss. It's separated, but I'm
Wow.
giving you the full title.
What's the last one?
I'm going to give you all of them. Try. Just give me a reason. Blow me. One last kiss.
Tracy Chapman.
Ursher.
Dolly Parton.
Pink.
Oh, yeah.
No point. All right, last one. Run, baby, run. What can I do for you? All I want to do.
Show crow.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You son of a snatch.
Yeah. Point. Geo.
Your final score: Gio and Michael both had 4 points
We're
on
the
the
same.
board, and Galvin is your triumphant champion. He won with 5.
That one
Shouldn't
in
have
a
gave
row?
me that one. Shouldn't have gave me that one.
Yeah, gotta be fair.
Yeah.
That's 2 in a row.
Oh, no.
Watch
I
out.
don't like that
On
at all.
streak. On his way to 3.
I don't like that at all. All right, Calvin, pick a line.
I'll go line 1.
Line 1. Good morning. Who's this?
Sherry?
Sherry?
Yes.
Hi, Sherry. You're the winner. I'm going to put you on hold. Carmen will grab you during the
Oh,
break.
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. We'll hook you up with a prize, Pumpkin. Thank you for listening. Hold on. And don't forget, the Mike Calta Vacay Payday starts at 8 o'clock this morning. We'll give you the keyword. You put it in the app, you can win $1,000. It starts at 8 o'clock and runs throughout the day. We'll give you a little reminder at 8 o'clock to get your phones ready to go. Galvin, what do we have coming up in news?
Coming up in news today, oh no memo, bathroom camping, and no more tears.
Oh, all right, Calvin, as your news. We'll take a quick break and get to that next. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone.
No.
I tried that Mando deodorant, Carmen. That's no good.
Yeah.
That's rotten grapefruits.
Yeah. Like I just basically had to start making my own because I was like you. I used to not smell.
Right.
And then just hormones, getting older, all these things that started. And that now that it's getting hotter
Uh-huh.
and stuff, it gets a little.
A little stanky.
Oh, yeah.
Little-
And if I'm not.
Menopause.
And if I'm not
No,
near a
no.
shower, no, not yet. But I make my own and it works great.
Very
So,
ripe.
Yeah.
Ripe is a great word. I took off my shirt the other day and I was like, oh, it smelled like rotten fruit. It was bad.
Yeah.
And that never happens. I'm telling you, it never happens. Every once in a while, and that was the day that I was wearing deodorant.
We all believe you.
Shut up.
You know what's so funny is we had talked about ruining your day, like things that ruin your day if you don't have your coffee, if you forget to wear deodorant, if you this, that, whatever. Literally the next day I forgot to wear deodorant. And I was like, oh man, I feel so naked and weird. I hope they don't smell me.
Oh, all right. A couple of things that I want to talk about, which I'm sure we'll get into in news. And then I have two situations I have to bring up. I have a new Indian guy that works for me now. Oh, I got to tell you about that. But ladies and
Joe,
gentlemen,
you're out.
Not right now. No, it's not even video. Right now, it's time to check in with Galvin. He's got today's news.
And now, news with Galvin on the Mike Calta Show.
What do we have in news today, Galvin?
Today's top story in Texas, as of Monday night, 84 people were confirmed dead in the Kerr County floods. Among them, 27 campers and counselors from Camp Mystic, which was an all-girls camp on the banks of the Guadalupe River and one of the hardest hit by the catastrophic flooding. By the way, all white?
What?
All white camp?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people out there talking, a lot of people making comments, and a lot of people that are possibly ruining their careers
It's
and
an
stuff.
all-white camp?
That's what people are saying. I don't know
Okay.
whether that's true or not, but people
I mean,
are,
you can't make an all-white camp.
well,
It may just happen to be.
I have seen videos of certain people saying you reap what you sow,
Oh, my God.
and good luck finding those dead kids.
Oh.
And yeah,
Who is saying that?
certain people
Okay.
wouldn't get into white camps.
People that couldn't get into the camp.
Well,
I mean, people who claim that they couldn't get into the camp
Right.
because it was a white camp
Mm.
are now saying that this is the, I get it.
Yeah.
I have not heard that.
Texas flood responders continued their search operations. 10 Camp Mystic campers and 1 counselor were still unaccounted for. As the search and rescue operations continue, the death toll across several counties in Hill County, Hill Country surpassed 100, with Kerr County being the area affected the most. Houston businesses and sports organizations have pledged aid to victims, and donation drives have been set up so Houstonians can help how they can.
Well, I tell you, this is the scariest thing. I mean, imagine sleeping and then at 4:00 in the morning, that water just comes rushing in. You have no idea. I watched the video of it, the time-lapse video, and it's amazing how quickly that runs through. It fills up and runs over, and they voted against because of budget reasons, a warning system.
That's
so
the big problem.
System. Yeah.
That's the big problem. If you remember with Katrina, with New Orleans, it was like every year they were like, "Oh, we don't need this, we don't need this stuff, whatever."
Yeah.
And then it caught up to them, and then you have it, and you're like, "Oh, we should have had those levies, and we should have had all the different stuff." But that's what happened is people don't think it's going to happen, and then all of a sudden it does, and look at the devastation.
I always say you can't escape the water. That's even here with the hurricanes. You get high from the wind, but you can't escape the water.
I wonder is like how far away from the water do you have to be safe? Am I safe over here in Lutz? Am I that far inland?
Yeah,
right. But I'm saying like how like where it is, and there's water everywhere.
Yeah, it's a lot of those flood zones. Like when the hurricanes hit, they'll have all the evacuation.
Oh yeah, like it's certainly where the radio station is.
Yeah, basically all of St. Pete.
Florida is really up on all of that stuff. They're like, listen, we know what happens. We know what happens with the Category 3. This is going to be a Category 5, whatever. So it's like, hey, you got to get out of there. Obviously, not to the same extent at all. But while we were playing down in Siesta Key,
right,
it apparently was raining the entire time. Because when I was driving out of there, you could barely drive on the roads.
Yeah.
It was crazy,
man.
It was crazy how flooded the roads were just from a couple of hours of raining.
Yeah.
Did you notice that we lost power like as soon as we were done with the last song?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I right. We were done. We took our instruments off. And everything went pop. Like it popped out and then popped back on. Like the generator.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't even notice that. So this is pretty wild. The Justice Department and the FBI have found no evidence.
This is ridiculous.
The disgraced financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein had a client list or that he blackmailed prominent associates. The conclusions are included in a 2-page memo outlining the exhaustive review the department conducted of the Epstein files in its possession. The memo also states that after a thorough investigation, the FBI found that Epstein died by suicide, which aligns with previous department conclusions. The findings contradict past statements from Attorney General Pam Bondi about the alleged list of Epstein's clients.
She said it was on her desk.
It was on her desk.
She's really taking it.
Unclear if the memo will tamp down on the continued public skepticism of about the Epstein case, particularly his suicide.
I think that the problem that you have is that I don't think anybody's surprised by it. Trump's name is on that list. Trump, in the initial talks about Epstein, said that he had only met him a couple of times, that they never did business together. And now, as you look more and more, there's at least 30 pictures of them at different occasions together. Now, granted, some of them are at weddings and all that, but it's not like they didn't know each other. And if Trump's name is on the list, doesn't necessarily mean he did anything with underage kids or did anything wrong, but he definitely was associated with him. What this client list is, I don't, did you think it was a list of people that were going over? Like, that's why I couldn't believe that Oprah was on the list and Ellen DeGeneres and all that. It was just ridiculous. I don't know if this was a list of people he had done business with, and then we just assume that everybody he does business with was raping kids.
Well, the thing is, though, is Pam Bondi says the list is sitting on my desk, and now they say there is no list, which is crazy.
Because
then she's also saying that there's hundreds of hours of video.
Yeah, that she was going through it.
Right. No,
of child porn
she's
and of Epstein having sex with kids and other people having sex with kids. Now, do we believe that? Is that gonna?
Yeah, she's looking really, really bad right now because she came out and made a big deal about that. She had they had all those influencers of the White House, and they were posing with the binders out front saying, "We've got the list now," and
so
that was all
BS.
BS.
Mean one thing. It can only mean one thing: that they are protecting the president. I mean, or they're protecting other people.
The problem is, when I think about the Epstein stuff, if there was anything that was really incriminating about Trump, don't you think the Democrats would have used that when they were in power during Biden?
If they had it.
Yeah.
If they had it. Can I tell you who the smartest person in the world is?
Got that, and that would have been like the first thing they were pumping out there.
If they would have got it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you who the smartest person in the world is? The smartest person to have the vision and see this down the road, not necessarily this, but just to see the situations, is Chad Chronister. Chad Chronister, by not taking that job at the FBI, has removed himself from all of this stuff. He is not in a position where he had to say one thing and do another. He doesn't have to kiss anybody. He doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
That was a smart. Like in the beginning, you're like, why would you not? That seems like a great.
He saw it.
He was like, no,
he saw the long game.
No, thank you. And now, he'd be right in the middle of all this because everybody would be looking at him going, show us the video of where Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Now, I believe my father's theory is possible, that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself because he was given the ultimatum to say, hey, look, kill yourself, or we're going to kill your family, or we're going to torture your people, and do whatever we got to do, or you could just make it easy and just go ahead and end it for yourself.
And the video they released is like missing a minute, like it skips over like a minute or two.
Yeah.
Compared to like the digital clock in the beginning, and nobody knows why.
Yeah, well, remember the cameras went out. Too,
the guard fell
guards are
asleep,
sleeping.
and this and that, and they had the convicted murderer in with them, and
who was just a big jacked up guy who definitely was the kind of guy and it wasn't even like a former cop, like
police,
the kind of guy who they go, hey, Bobby, break this guy's neck and we'll take care of you.
The fact that they were all like hammering this Epstein, and then also, nope, hey, guess what? There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like it really is a bad look.
Oh, it's terrible.
Really, really tough to spin that.
But I got to be honest with you. I think that even if the Democrats were in the office, we'd be in a similar situation because a lot of them are probably on the list too.
Yeah, there's a lot of important people. We assume there's a lot of important, influential, rich people that are on that list. So whether you want to say this guy, that girl, this guy, whoever, all of them together, I mean, that's like saying cars run on water now.
Yeah.
It would just ruin everything.
I just can't think the Democrats wouldn't take a chance to make Trump look bad had they known what was going on.
I
with the
don't
Epstein stuff.
think
You know what I mean?
anybody knew.
Like
I
they
don't
had
think
access
anybody
to
had
that
full-
stuff too and didn't release it. They were running the Department of Justice. If there was anything there,
Hey, look,
It
Elon
doesn't
Musk,
exist.
the first thing Elon Musk said when he wanted to fight back was he's on the list.
I know.
Yeah.
First thing he
that's
said.
that's
Yeah.
the thing.
It's
So
the first thing he
It
came out.
makes no sense, and I don't know who to believe.
But that's the next thing now. Who comes out and goes, yeah, there's a list. I saw the list.
Yeah.
But then
Pam Bondi said it.
Yeah.
Like all these people are saying it.
Pam Bondi said it was on her desk, and she
Yes.
was literally physically looking through it.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
Maybe, but maybe you get a list of names. Like, okay, I don't want to bring up a lot of bad things, but during the trial that we're associated with, there were a lot of names brought up. You remember your name kept getting brought up?
Yeah.
And there were phone calls made to Galvin, and Galvin's like, I don't even know that guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't you. It was you.
Oh.
But that's you didn't do anything wrong. You worked with the guy at the time. So
our last names are similar.
your last names are similar. So, but there was a list going on of names.
Yeah.
None of them had anything to do with anything, but there was a list of names. So Jeffrey Epstein could actually have a client list of famous people that he worked with for financial reasons.
Right.
And they could be referring to that as the client list and a list of associates that he had.
But for years, the rumor was it was flight logs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that there were flight logs because people could tell you how many times people have been on the plane and all that. But the other thing is that, and rich people will tell you this, if you have a plane, you have to lease out that plane to other people for tax reasons. Or if you just use it for a private plane, you don't lease out to other people, the taxes are so much.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times he was letting other people use his plane.
But also, they've been saying that a lot of the times Trump, like with a lot of these pictures that are surfacing of Trump and Epstein, most of that happened in New York and not at Epstein Island.
Right.
They were saying,
of
like,
course. And like I
Like
said,
just
they're at
events.
other people's weddings
Right.
and
there were parties that happened all the time in the city where they were at.
Where
so it
the
wasn't
same
always
amount
an
of
island.
elite people are always showing up to the same party.
I really don't know who to believe. I just think
Now-
if Trump was if there was anything on there that was bad about Trump, I think the Democrats 100% would have released it.
Question, not question, but a statement is somebody put on Facebook. They said, "Why is Mike always trying to defend P. Diddy?" I don't think I've ever defended P. Diddy. I think P. Diddy is garbage, whether he did half the stuff they said he did or not.
No, I think you just say you don't
Right.
know what he did.
And
What
all,
is
but
the
all,
thing,
right.
you know?
And my thing about P. Diddy was I had a lot of questions. I didn't quite understand how the government just kicked in his door one day. Like, why P. Diddy? Like, out of all the people that are getting hookers and drugs and having orgies and all that stuff, why go after P. Diddy?
Because that show, it's a big splash and it's a big famous guy, so you do it, and they're like, man, they're really doing their job. You know what I mean?
Right, but I didn't understand why. Like seem a lot of times it's like everybody seemed to be willing participants and it was good. I didn't understand the whole idea that, and I was also shocked and surprised that this guy was he kidnapping women and forcing them to do sex work for him. Like this is all foreign to me. I'm asking questions because I don't understand. A lot of times if I ask questions, I'm not siding with the bad person. In the Jeffrey Epstein case, there's no doubt he was a bad human being from what I've been told. I don't know the guy. I don't know any of this. I'm assuming all this stuff is true because that's what my government's telling me. But I don't know the whole story.
You did at one point say Putin seemed pretty cool.
That was such unfortunate timing. Oliver Stone did a documentary with Vladimir Putin where he went and hung out with him and ate dinner with him and played chess with him and all that stuff. And I watched the documentary and I was like, Putin seemed like a pretty reasonable guy because, when you're a kid and you think of Russia, you think nobody has toilet paper over there and they're mean to their people because all the propaganda that we've been told. And then I watched this thing with Putin and he just seemed like a pretty tough politician. Like he was pretty good.
What happened the next day?
The next day they invaded Ukraine. I was like,
whoops. All right. So on to more important political stuff.
Okay.
President Donald Trump proposed a surprising way to celebrate the 250th birthday of the U.S. next year, putting an octagon ring on the White House grounds and have fighters duke it out. Trump floated out the idea of UFC having an event July 4th during a speech in Iowa where he talked about the plans to celebrate America's 250th anniversary, saying, quote, "We're going to have the UFC fight. Think of this on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're still going to build a little." Trump did not disclose many details about his proposal, but said that UFC CEO Dana White, a staunch supporter of President Trump, was going to handle the event.
Yeah, listen. The problem with UFC and the White House, which first of all is hilarious, is
that, by the way, idiocracy.
Yeah,
I mean idiocracy.
The exact thing that I thought of, Galvin. Idiocracy, because who goes? Theo Vaughn?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just going to be a bunch of
Theo Vaughn,
stoner YouTube.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
the Nelk Boys.
Yeah. Or the Bussin' with the Boys guys.
Logan Paul.
You're right. All those guys. And they're all there just being cool guy. Kid Rock will be there.
Hey, we're at the White House,
But
everybody.
my question is, nobody gets to go as far as fans,
right.
UFC fans,
right.
Because
they all have
just
to be
the
vetted
security and all that stuff, you'd never get through.
Yeah, unless they did something where they put it on the grounds and then built, fences and stuff around it so that you can get into that. It's like a public. But I mean, they're still going to vet them all.
People go to the White House every day, though. You can tour the White House.
Yeah, but you can't tour the White House unless you have. Well, you have to arrange that.
Right.
And then once you arrange it, they go through the process.
You would have to buy tickets and have to say, yes, I'm totally cool with them vetting me and doing all that stuff.
I think they'd have to have a certain number of fans there to watch it.
Yeah, because there's going to be obviously political people, but then their family and their friends.
I mean, people that
there's going to be UFC people. I mean, there has to be general public somewhat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People that have been vetted for sure.
I think that's such a difficult thing to pull off because now not only are you letting in unvetted people, but you're putting them in the vicinity of the president in a closed area.
Yeah.
Like you go to the White House, you're not seeing the president.
But also think about whenever the president goes to UFC events. What do they have to do there?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true. They don't vet those people.
Yeah, and I got to think in Washington and at the White House, that's probably where the president is the most safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You would imagine
because he's
just seems like a headache.
It probably does. A lot, and apparently a lot of people are pissed off about it.
Why though?
Because it's a violent sport, and
so what? It's boxing was the
like,
biggest thing in the 70s and 80s. If Nixon or if Reagan would have had a Mike
Sugar Ray
Tyson
Leonard
match or whatever,
Listen,
Sugar Ray Leonard would have been great.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but it's a violent sport, and people say it breaks decorum of the White House.
Yeah, but it's also been regulated. John McCain, stepped in. Remember, John McCain got involved in it, and I was like, "Shut up, John McCain." It actually made the sport better. It legitimized the sport.
Also, I've never seen a sport where both sides have more respect for each other. And, they beat each other up, and then at the end they hug each other and they do all that stuff. And
the argument is you're promoting violence on the lawn of the White House.
Sure. Yeah.
Listen, I think after you do the one at the White House, Trump sits back and he goes, this is how we're going to handle all matters. Ukraine, get your best fighter, fight Russia, whoever wins, that's it. War's over.
I think it's great. I think the spectacle alone is going to be awesome.
Oh, man. 4th of July, UFC at the White House. Get out of here, man. That would be the greatest thing in the world.
The whole mall has got the screen.
Kid Rock will explode. Yeah. That's so American.
I love some of the preposterous things that Trump says. I love the idea that we wake up and he's still there. It's like John Mulaney said, the horse is still in the hospital. Yeah. It's insane. But the idea that our president is selling cologne right now is the most asinine thing I've ever heard. I mean, it's how you You can't
Didn't he have
counter.
steaks and wine and stuff for a while?
Yeah, but that
too?
was before he was president.
Yeah.
Now he's president. He's putting out cologne. I mean, come on.
If you
That
want to
is-
smell like 45,
that is
47.
the
You want Trump shoes?
Yeah.
dumbest thing to be ever, because he's not making money off of that. He's just doing that because he wants to be arrogant.
Yeah.
And that just that to me, it seems to me that if he would do less of that, he would be so much more effective. But then again, it seems to be working just fine for him. What do I know?
By the way, you brought up the Bussin' with the Boys that we had on during the Super Bowl. The Taylor guy, who's former NFL guy, whatever. He's friends with Dana White, and they go to the different shows and stuff. I was watching a video thing that he did where he was going to UFC and the power slap thing, whatever, and he was staying in the casino, and he goes and plays, and he's playing Baccarat, and he did pretty well at Baccarat, and then he had like 15 grand in chips with him. He had like 300,000 or something that he won. And then he goes over in one of these other influencers, and I don't know the kid's name, but he does a lot of gambling stuff. He was playing roulette, and he was like, "Hey, man, blah, blah, blah." He goes, "Come on, play roulette with me." And he goes like, "I don't really play roulette. I don't know that." He goes, "Just kind of follow what I do." They went on a heater. He started out with $15,000.
Yeah, I saw that.
He left with over $500,000.
Yeah.
Just him. They both left with over $500,000.
Must be so nice.
I mean, like the weekend, he was up like 800,000.
Yeah. I lose 1,000 every time I go.
Man, he's always in that high limit room with Dana White and all those guys.
Yeah, it was wild. And he had his camera. He was like losing playing Baccarat, and then he was asking his cameraman whether he should do player or banker, and he got like 9 in a row. And he was like, "Yeah, dude, I hope he tipped the cameraman." But it was wild.
That's great.
Yeah, he's got NFL money.
Oh, he's got. I think his post NFL career probably made him more
Oh
money.
yeah, they just signed with FanDuel, which I'm sure paid them a lot to leave Barstool.
Yeah, they're good. Those guys are good. Did you see the controversy with them over the weekend with Taylor Swift?
Yes, it's
Taylor
just hilarious.
Swift. What's his name? Travis Kelce was on Bussin' with the Boys, or at least hanging out with them, and Taylor Swift posed out in a picture with all 4 of them. And all the Swifties got mad because
they're very pro-Trump.
They're very pro-Trump.
They had Trump on their podcast.
Yeah.
So now people that are like Swifties, who she's very anti-Trump.
I know, but she can't talk to somebody and be nice to somebody.
Can I tell you that you're allowed to be friends with people with opposite opinions of you? It's okay. You're allowed to do that. You can do that. You don't have to agree on everything.
There's a guy online that listens to the show. I don't know if he still does because he moved, but he used to own Titan Comics in Sarasota. And he posted a picture of Ice Cube and Ice T, I think it was, and it said something about the only ice you should listen to. And I just made a comment. I was like, one guy who wrote a song called F the Police, and the other guy who was accused of murdering somebody. And he wrote back, "I'll take that." I go, "All right, I wasn't trying to start a political thing. I just was making a joke." I don't know. Mike Calta Show, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Love the show. 2 things on the UFC on the grounds of the White House. The first, Joe Rogan has to call it, right? Because he was such an influence in getting him in. But secondly, all these folks out there with the No King shirts, right? He's got to do this gladiator style where he sits on a throne and gives a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
He just
at the end of the fight, he just stands up.
He already has the throne. He already has a gold throne.
Hilarious.
You think Trump's not envisioning that in his mind? Like, it's the scene in Gladiator.
Out the robe.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Caesar.
Mike Calta Show, good morning.
Hey, on the same subject, not promoting violence on the White House lawn. Like, say, for example, woke college students with death to IDF because they're sympathetic to the Palestinians.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We were on a roll for a second. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, sorry. I think I put it together. So they had college students at the White House that were pro-Palestinian?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I get it, sir. You just didn't come across very.
Or just have college students fight.
Yeah.
With opposing,
Why'd you ruin that? We're all had the emperor and the thing, and then you had to bring in real life stuff going on right now.
So you got Trump selling cologne and stuff, and he sold steaks and wine before. So you're saying wait until afterwards and then sell a cologne, not while you're in office?
I don't think you should. I mean, it's not cool. If you're a man selling a cologne that's named after you, I think that's pretty awful.
Really, while in office, I don't think the president should be selling anything.
Should be selling anything.
No.
How about after you're out of office?
But I think
you go on tour and do stuff? Can you do that? Because
isn't the money to his stuff going to the library or whatever?
A lot of this money is going to the library. The plane's going to the library.
Yeah,
I think he's not technically selling it, but the Trump organization is selling it. Yeah,
it's a bad look.
Barack Obama is doing a show at London's O2 Arena in September, and VIP tickets go for as much as $2,440.
Who do you think he is, Oasis?
That's more than twice what Beyonce charged for VIP tickets to a recent Cowboy Carter tour.
What do you get for VIP?
I would imagine a meet and greet and a picture and, all that type of stuff.
Can I tell you something that's going to make you very mad?
Special seating? What?
I don't know if I'd pay $2,000, but I might pay a little bit. I might pay a little to take a picture with Obama.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have a thing for presidents.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you like them or not, if you voted for them or not. They were presidents, and there's only a few of them, and you only have a few in your lifetime. Oh,
I have nothing against Obama. I don't think I'd pay for pictures.
I don't know if I'd pay $1,000.
What is he
But
giving?
if it was a charity thing and I donated $1,000 and I got to take a picture with him, maybe I might do that.
I guess he's giving a speech. Is that what you're there
to see? Yeah,
or?
unless he's going out there and putting on a variety show. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
oh my God, now that I would pay $1,000 for.
What a bore that would be, though.
What if you get to play pickup basketball with him? That'd be pretty cool.
Or if he just gets up there and says, "It's so good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Superstitious by Stevie Wonder." He just goes boom, boom, boom. I like Barack Obama. If he was speaking here, I may even go see him here. And I know this probably makes a lot of people mad. I'm just interested. I think he's a interesting person. He's very charismatic, and I think that if he was doing that, I might go.
The first time he ran, I went to a campaign rally.
Yeah,
it was at Steinbrenner Field.
Yeah,
it was weird and awkward. I thought
they're all weird. And
I'm
awkward.
like, they're weird people. This is a big mistake.
Yeah, those people who go like to those things all the time.
Yeah,
they're too much.
I went to when W was running too. He was there, and I went to that campaign, and it was also very weird and awkward.
I went to one when Clinton was running. When I worked at FLZ, we did a thing down there one time, and it wasn't as political. It wasn't as weird. It was just a weird group of people. And then I went to the Trump one for the first time, the one that was at the amphitheater.
Yeah.
And that was insane. That was like very much like a Kid Rock concert. You saw people from all walks of life.
Yeah, I think I went to just, I thought it'd be cool to see those people in person.
It's
like,
funny.
These are both presidents. And I'm going to see them in person. Yeah.
It's funny because I can't even bring myself to go see anybody like giving a speech, whatever. Like Jordan Peterson, I think is interesting and has some good points on stuff. I don't want to see him talk for an hour or anything, whatever, but like they had him at Amalie Arena or
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go see Tony Robbins, like any of the things. I'd just be like,
These rallies, I would not pay to go. Like they're always free.
Yeah,
I would. There's no way I would pay.
Yeah, some of it. Sometimes you just have to do it for the historical mark in your life.
Yeah.
I went to go see that guy when he was running for president. Like it's part of your life. You want to make a memory out of that.
Kevin Smith, he does those Q&As. I could listen to him talk for hours. Like
he's
got something about it that
he's a great storyteller.
Yeah,
he is a great storyteller. It's amazing to me how much people fight on YouTube. I don't ever read the YouTube comments. You could be talking great about me. You could be talking horrible about me. I don't care. I don't ever read them.
What are they saying, Gio?
Right now, a lot of deodorant talk.
Oh no, I don't mean it. I'd love to. I wish I could be in the chat room during the show.
I jump in the chat room and look at.
I don't mind that. I like the chat room because people are listening in real time. But I mean, like, I don't look at the comments on the videos, but they do come across my email, and I can always see the first one will come up and say, and it's constantly people commenting on Kevin Smith when he talked about Harvey Weinstein. Oh, you knew. Did you need this? And oh, Jesus Christ. People think that they know everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not defending Kevin. I don't know what if I found out the CEO of this company was doing bad stuff. I don't know if I'd be the first one. I'm not rocking the boat on my company. I have nothing to do with me. I'm not changing anything.
Yeah, I believe
what's going on with my show.
I believe it when he said he didn't know.
Yeah, he's not that connected to. He's doing his business deals. He's not partying with Harvey Weinstein.
Plus, Kevin's like a happily married guy by all accounts. So why would he even be in that world of, he said at the time, he goes, I knew, everybody kind of knew that he cheats on his wife all the time, but outside of that, that's all there is.
Yeah. Nobody has friends that they know or people that they know or even people that they work with that do stuff, whatever. What do you, okay, well, I can't talk to that person ever again.
We're talking about you, Joe.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Word has it that TSA quietly made a change yesterday to allow all passengers to keep their shoes on while passing through the checkpoints.
Oh, that was a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
One guy,
right? Exactly.
The shoe bomber. I'm more mad at him than I was at the 9/11 guys.
Yeah. By the way, Dennis Miller, maybe the greatest thing ever. Do you remember how he described him?
Yeah.
He goes, this shoe bomber guy looks like the keyboardist from Jay Giles' band. That's such a great reference.
Like a hippie.
But some people claim they still been asked to remove their shoes. So I guess it's happening, but maybe not happening, whatever. But try and keep your shoes on. See what happens. Yeah, that really is inconvenient and all over one person who didn't even get it done. You know what I mean?
He tried to light his shoes on fire.
Yeah.
I just think we should have had the technology sooner to be able to sense things without taking the shoes off.
Well,
Yeah,
you can see everything else.
Yeah.
When you step in that booth that goes around you,
Oh, the like thing.
you should put your feet in something and it scans your feet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pretty wild. How about this? A bride created some controversy by sitting all of her plus-size guests at the same table.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
She even called the table Weight Watchers.
Oh my God.
She apparently excused it by saying it was a body positive thing. I don't know how that's body positivity.
Hey,
but
fatty, table 12.
yeah. Do you think that as they sat down, they were like, wait a second?
Oh, hello, Joan. What are you doing here?
We used to hang out at this club, and every week we'd hang out, and these fat girls would come in. They were great. We were all friends with them, but there was like 5 of them, and they were all fat, and we'd call them the herd.
Really?
The herds here.
We had, whenever I was younger and my brother and I played in a band together, we had girls that would come watch us and stuff, and we called them the Beast from the East.
Because we're so sexy.
We called them the Beast from the East, and one of them worked at McDonald's, and we would just drive to the McDonald's drive-thru, and she would just hand out bags of burgers and fries for us, just like feeding starving artists.
How quickly do you think the fat people realize we're at the fat table?
Right, that's what I'm saying, is they're sitting down, and they're like, the third person that sits down, they're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to need more bread over here.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's hilarious. A 30-year-old convicted drug dealer named Tommy Rowe was caught selling drugs
Oh, he's a convicted drug dealer.
in a courtroom
Oh, Jesus. To who?
during his own sentencing hearing.
I mean, he's good at what he does.
He was there because of a previous drug conviction when he got caught selling drugs to another convict who was also in the courtroom. It's unclear exactly how he got caught, but the sale included marijuana and Xanax, and the dealer apparently snuck the drugs inside with him. He had over 100 previous criminal convictions for drug dealing and theft
Wow.
in the courtroom.
That's a
That
great
takes some
idea,
balls,
though.
though.
That
You know your market.
Yeah, you'll never think they'll find it here.
But that ranks right up there with the guy who drives drunk to his DUI hearing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even
It's like the hiding in plain sight type stuff.
Unbelievable. I have a hot or not for you guys.
Oh, good.
This is out of South Carolina. The Berkeley County Sheriff's Office said a woman has been charged after her granddaughter was reported missing at the Bushy Park boat landing. Ann Sellers, who is 53 years old, is charged with unlawful conduct towards a minor. Sellers called 911 to advise them that she was stranded on her jet ski and that her granddaughter attempted to swim back to shore for assistance. Several marine vessels and drones were sent out to search for her. They later located her in the marshland approximately 500 yards from the boat ramp. The preliminary investigators revealed that the grandmother lied during the investigation. Deputies discovered that she and the granddaughter took separate jet skis, and when one of them was not working correctly, they both became stranded. Sellers told her, swim for help, to the granddaughter.
Jesus.
Despite the strong currents, high winds, and wildlife threats in the area, it says careless decisions and endanger the lives of juveniles will not be tolerated. That's according to Sheriff Dwayne Lewis. He said not only was the child's life put at risk, so were the lives of our first responders who entered dangerous conditions to conduct the rescue. So she is looking at some time in jail now. She is 53 years old. She's from South Carolina. Her name is Ann Sellers, and she's telling her granddaughter, swim, dummy.
I say South Carolina, stupid, in the water, hot.
All right. Gio, what do you think?
53, if she was hot, they would have helped her. She's not hot.
Okay. You say not hot. Carmen, what do you got?
I'm with Gio. She's like a fatty or something because if they're not helping her, they're
She's
like,
at the Weight Watchers table.
yeah.
Fatty making the granddaughter swim.
Hot chick, they go above and beyond to make sure she's safe.
Yeah.
Mike says hot. Carmen and Gio both say not hot. Pep has it on Bone TV. You guys take a look at your phones. That's not hot.
Oh,
That's
damn.
really not hot.
Oh, yeah.
That's not hot. Although, can I tell you,
goodness.
that's really what I was picturing when I went through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Not
Yeah,
hot.
she looks like she just got off the boat ramp, or she was part of the boat ramp. That is not hot at
Like,
all.
beat it, old lady.
Ugh, I don't like it.
Your hair dye's running.
Does anybody know the term bathroom camping?
I feel like I've done that before.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What do you think it is?
I go in for a while when I
Yeah?
go in. Yeah, if I
Setting
go,
up tent?
well, I like to get away from everybody, and I bring my phone, and I either read or play a game, or
You pretty much nailed it.
yeah.
So bathroom camping is trending apparently on TikTok. It's whenever you go into the bathroom, maybe at work or at a party or something, just to get away from everyone.
Galvin,
Yeah.
listen to this. Before I was in radio, I drove a forklift at a warehouse in New Jersey. And the warehouse was so big, it would picture like being in 2 Walmarts with nothing in it. Well, I mean, it was stuff in it, but it was just stacks of stuff. Yeah. And, if there was a load coming in on the train in the back or through the trucks in the front, I'd have to unload, take the forklift, drive onto the truck, pick up the pallet, take it off, put it down, that kind of stuff. If it came in off the train, sometimes you had to hump it off by hand. And, that was my job. But if there was no deliveries coming in right now, they just want you to make yourself useful. A lot of times you can clean up, you can, whatever. I would just take the newspaper and go into the stall, pull my pants down like I was going to the bathroom, and I would read the whole newspaper and just sit there. And it was the only room that was heated too, so it was like hot in there. And I would sit there and read the whole paper. I was reading stories about things I never thought I'd care about in my life. I could tell you about stock trends. I could tell you about what was happening in Little Haiti. I was reading the newspaper, the Daily News from front to end, and my ass would fall asleep. I was in there so long. It was the best thing ever. And then every once in a while, I'd hear on the loudspeaker, Mike Calta to the front, and I'd be like, "Oh, time to go to work." And I'd get up there and I'd drive my little forklift over to the front. Oh, it's the best job ever.
What'd you say where you were? I
just went in the bathroom.
No cameras at that time.
No,
right?
they don't know when I went in. They don't know when I came out. I come out. I'd leave the paper in the bathroom, and I'd come out and I go, "Hey," they're like, "Oh, yeah, we're looking for." I was in the bathroom. Okay, hey, there's a load coming in.
Yeah.
That's it, and that's all. Sometimes, if I wasn't driving the forklift and I was just humping bags, I would make the forklift driver put me all the way up on top of the bag. I get on the forklift, he'd pick me all the way up, put me on top of the bag. So now I'm like 20 feet up. Nobody ever looks up. And I would make a little hole and I would just sleep on the bags on top, on the coffee beans. It was wonderful.
Yeah, sounds nice.
Dude, I think of that scene in This Is 40 when Paul Rudd's in the bathroom with his iPad.
Yeah.
She comes in, "What are you doing in here?" He's like, I'm going to the bathroom.
Playing Words with Friends.
I don't smell anything.
Yeah.
I think about the things we used to get away with and there was no cameras.
Oh,
no cameras.
yeah.
You could do whatever you wanted.
Galvin, I was watching a video yesterday. There's this guy in New York, and he just walks up to cops on the streets. Black dude. And he walks up and he goes, "What's up, bitch? What are you doing?" And the guy's like, "What?" And he goes, right up to a police officer. He goes, "Don't you look at me, bitch." He's like, "You work for me. I work," and just instigating all the police, and they can't do anything about it. They can't do anything about it. It's awful.
But eventually you're going to run into the guy who's having the worst week of his life, and he's going to go, "I'm done."
Yeah.
You know?
But until then, this guy is just antagonizing police officers and making money off.
Yeah, I saw the one guy who went up to and he goes, "What's your name? What's your badge number?"
Yeah.
And the guy tells him, and he goes, "Good boy."
Yeah. And then he goes, "You're dismissed."
Yeah, come on.
You ever see that kid, Jack Doherty?
Oh, yeah.
Who walks through like the mall and he'll like shoulder bump some guy?
Yes.
He's a little scrawny kid.
Yep.
And then they like, "Hey man, what the hell?" And then a big ass bodyguard comes in.
Yeah.
To like get in front of him.
That's douchey too.
Yeah,
That
but
would
he
make me
gets
mad.
a ton of clicks. And the
Yeah.
kid's super rich.
Has all the OnlyFans models
Yeah.
hanging out at his house, all this stuff. Although, did you see that young kid that called him out? He went to like a mini camp, like little kids football camp, whatever. And the little kid was like, "You think you're so tough? You got the bodyguard. We know what you do, this, that." And he's totally calling him out. And then he's talking to his girl. It was great. It was hilarious. But that kid really is just a punk.
He walks around and picks fights with people with a bodyguard.
And he walks through the mall like this.
Yeah. And
He walks like that and just shoulder blasts people and stuff. And if anybody tries anything, then you got this 6'9" big giant black guy who comes over.
Yeah, but who can't touch you?
But what do you mean?
The bodyguard can't put his hands on you.
Oh, they don't.
If you start fight, but most people, most people aren't going to do anything.
I know,
I'm waiting for
as soon as that guy hit me, I'd be like, "See you in court."
But I'm waiting for the one guy who just goes knockout, and the bodyguard comes over and he goes, "Yeah, big deal, knockout to the bodyguard." You know what I mean? Yeah, because it's not like the bodyguard's the toughest man in the world. He's just a big dude and intimidating. Most people are going to go, "No, don't do that."
I went to the MTV Awards one time. And I was with the guy, and the guy got up to go to the bathroom, and he was sitting in the aisle seat, and this giant black bodyguard who was in charge of Britney Spears, Jessica Simpson, and what was the other chick from Mandy Moore? He would walk them to the bathroom and want them back. So they went out to the bathroom, and he came over and he just sat in my buddy's seat right next to me, and I went, "Hey, that's my." Excuse me, and he just went like this, looked forward, and I was like, "But he's coming back, sir." And the guy just sat there and looked straight ahead. I was like, I tapped him on the shoulder, and then he looked over, and I go, my buddy's coming back, and he just looked straight ahead. Then finally, when Britney Spears and all that came back, he got up and he just walked away. He didn't care or say a word about me at all.
That's what you have to do, though.
He's a mountain. That was all he was.
That was Joe at the bare knuckle fighting when we went, and the guy came over and sat down, and the guy had a vest on, no shirt, and a hand grenade around his neck.
You can sit wherever you want, sir.
Yeah.
I just sat right in Joe's seat.
We had the whole table. It was our table. He came over and sat down, and we're like, hey, does he need a beer or anything? I am not fighting a guy with no shirt on, a hand grenade around his around his neck at a fight. You know what I mean? Like,
and he was just like ripped, man. Like,
he should not have had a shirt on.
Hey, Joe, I saw you hung out with New Spanish again this weekend.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, the St. Pete mini lights were in full force.
Does he get robbed again?
Rob?
Yeah.
His car.
His car got broken into.
Where is he living?
Yeah, he's always got footage of like crazy stuff happening outside of his house.
How did I not see this? What happened?
He just posted the other day. Yeah, he just posted the other day. I didn't know what was going on, but I did see that.
Yeah. I don't know if he left his doors unlocked, but it looks like they were going through his neighborhood and like getting
just open the doors.
Yeah, and getting into cars and stealing stuff.
Is that a neighborhood that is like that, where you're like, I'd rather just have them open my door instead of smash my window?
Yeah.
So I just leave it unlocked.
Do you keep anything in your car?
Not really.
No,
nothing.
I don't keep anything in my car.
I will tell you. Well, I don't know. Nobody's trying to break into my car, but I have a compartment that you cannot open without the key, and you don't know is there.
Yeah.
So if I have anything important that I have to keep in there right now, Carmen, you know what's in it? 2 bandanas and a pack of gum.
Whoa.
Wait.
Yeah. but if I have to put anything important, I would leave it in there. But, like I said, I mean, obviously, if you have a pry bar, you can pop, do that.
But I mean, like for those quick open the door and see what's in there. Like I don't have money in my dashboard. I don't have stuff in the console. I mean, you're getting nothing out of it.
I will tell you, you go in my trunk, you're going to be able to play any sport you want. I've got tennis rackets. I've got basketballs. I've got golf clubs. I got all kind of stuff.
You go in my back seat, I guarantee there's sprinkles on the floor, but other than that, nothing else.
By the way, I went and played a little Top Golf on Sunday.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh, so much fun, man. I was blasting it. So I didn't remember, because it has been a while since I went, so long that I had to look up, do I have to bring my own clubs? Or they have clubs. But I went and we were just playing where you just hit wherever you want to hit it, and I realized that along the back wall,
the trench,
the back net, yeah. So I was just crushing it to the back wall every time, and then it was multiplying it by like 6 and 7 and all this. I was like, oh, this is great.
I did not have it. I could not get it out to the back.
Oh, I literally couldn't not hit the back wall.
Yeah, my son was hitting it. I just couldn't. My old man strength would not put it in the back.
And then we played like where you have to make it in the green, make it in the yellow, do that and stuff. Yeah, it was fun. It was good. It's such a good time. And I'm always amazed at how good the food is there.
Yeah, they have good food.
So good.
It's a good time.
I get the donut holes you can inject with like chocolate and stuff. They're so goddamn good.
Also, pro tip, eat at the end. Because as soon as you eat, you're done.
Yeah.
You go to swing that club and you're like, oh, can't even move.
Yeah, the food is surprisingly really good.
Yeah. Here's something that you may think is good, may think is bad. Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Hormel have partnered up for a new bacon-flavored cereal.
No?
No?
No.
I don't like the savory, sweet bacon stuff.
Well, you can get a 6-ounce bag at Walmart starting today. A guy who tests foods on TikTok, one of the food testers, whatever, described it as
gross.
Not terrible.
No.
So
that's what you're going for. Not terrible.
Yeah, not terrible. By the way, did you see some, I don't know if she's a food influencer or whatever, was over at Gershie's? I reposted my story. She was out there trying out Gershie's stuff, whatever. All that food. By the way, always great. We've had it a million times. But she's holding the different stuff up, and it looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I miss food.
Yeah, Gershie's good, too.
Carmen didn't cheat on my diet one time.
Oh.
Really?
Didn't drink at the beach club.
Okay.
I did not eat anything bad. I went
You didn't go to Bread Bandits.
Did not go to Bread Bandits, and boy, did that hurt. That really hurt.
I mean,
I just kept thinking to myself, just one day, just go eat bread for one day. No.
Sitting in a movie theater with no popcorn, that's got to be tough.
No, but you have a $9 Diet Coke, and every sip you took, you on eight cents.
But you can smell it, and
yeah, it was bad. But not only that, it's in a bistro, so everybody's like eating food around me too.
Real food. Yeah.
Oh, I went to Walt's Fish Shack, I think it's called, in Sarasota, by myself.
No.
Yeah, and I had steamed shrimp and Walt's.
But no butter, right?
I can have butter, but no, I didn't have butter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cocktail sauce?
No cocktail sauce. That's
You're
all
just
sugar.
eating straight up steamed shrimp.
It was that Old Bay on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Seasoned.
So I had some seasoning.
All right.
Yeah, and then I had Walt's fish bread. Oh my god.
Oh,
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. If you told me it was a stingray, I don't know what kind of fish they use for that fish bread, but it was really good.
Do you go solo booth or do you go to the bar?
I went table. I almost went to the bar, but she brought me to a table, so I was like, all right.
Yeah, if you're solo, you go to the bar. That's the move.
I know, but I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And the bar is like a very chatty Cathy area.
That's true, but
I was just really wanting to go in there, eat, and get out.
Sad table guy that's really
Like I feel like people are recognizing me going, clearly somebody's got to be coming to meet him. He's very famous.
Like, oh, did she stand him up? What's going on over there?
Yeah.
What's that guy's story?
His wife finally kicked him out.
Just over there eating fish bread.
Crackers.
Today is National Video Game Day.
Love video games.
What is your number one? I don't have a list or anything, but like, what's your if you said my favorite video game of all time is
Call of Duty.
Madden,
I'd say
Call
Madden.
of Duty.
Crash Bandicoot.
I go Pitfall.
Pitfall.
I used to love Pitfall.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
loved it in '82.
I love the old
I
games.
I haven't played in a long time.
I go Leisure Suit Larry.
What is that?
You used to be able to play it on one of the first PCs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like a Leisure Suit guy that would come through, and he would order a drink, and then you'd have to talk to a girl. Weird. Yeah.
I think it was Call of Duty. One of the ones where you were in the house and zombies were trying to get in.
Well, they do have a zombie.
Modern Warfare.
Yeah, they do have a zombie house.
I remember playing that with my son, and I was like, "Oh man, you got a shotgun off the wall," and you just and they were coming, and you're like, "Ah!"
Yeah. You start getting anxiety from playing the video game.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a very fun game, and the fact that it's multiplayer and you could play with your friends.
Yeah.
who aren't around. Like when we used to play with my brother when he lived in Chicago, that was awesome. Spanish would be in St. Pete. I'd be in Land O'Lakes. My brother and his sons would be in Chicago, and we'd all play from different locations at night. That was, I mean, all had headsets on, talking to each other. It was good.
I'm sure there was no trash talking there.
Not only was there trash talking, but it's great when you could be like, hey, you guys go over here, I'll go here, and they can't hear you. You know what I mean? So like you could just talk to your team.
Oh yeah.
So when you played teams, that was great. But yeah, the trash talking was also good.
Cool. I missed the Golden Tee out here before I got fried.
I know. We gotta get rid of that thing.
No,
it's just taking up space.
It's still just sitting out there?
No, I mean it works, Carmen, but it looks like it's not an HD.
Yeah, the screen is just it's
gotcha.
got fried when it got hit by lightning.
I bet you that's an easy fix.
I know.
I bet you that's just some sort of
I don't know.
Joe and I looked at
chip or something.
because that game's that's like 25 years old. That's
No,
an
I know,
old
but
game.
I'm saying
$500 for that whole thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying I bet you there's just some chip that somebody was like, yeah, you just need this, boom, and then it's perfectly fine.
If anybody does arcade games, let us know.
Yeah.
We have to do this right now.
What do we have?
The Mike Calta Summer Vacay Payday. This hour's keyword is
vacation. This hour's keyword is vacation. VACATION. Head over to the 1025 The Bone free app and put in the word vacation, and you could win $1,000.
There you go. Go get your money.
Good luck.
And take that money and use it at the Bone Beach Bash, which is happening in 2 weeks.
Use
Can't
it
wait.
all. Just use it all on booze. Get crazy.
This weekend, my number one best friend's coming to town.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is
Bobby
he
will be
doing
here.
shows, or what's he doing?
So Louis J. Gomez is going to be at Side Splitters this weekend, and he's filming his special on Saturday night.
Oh,
and
at
Bobby
Side Splitters?
is directing it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Good.
they're coming in on Thursday. By the way, we have to change Louis. You and I talked about it yesterday.
No.
We need to bring him in on Thursday in the 8 o'clock hour as opposed to Friday at 9, like we talked about.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot it. I talked to Bobby after I talked to you.
I saw a clip with them doing their stories thing, whatever, and it was Louis J. Gomez and Jim Norton was there. And Louis goes, I wrote a book called blah, 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 and this and that. And Jim said, "What is the name of it?" And he goes, "It's this." Because and Jim goes, "I don't care." And like as soon as he started doing it, and he did it in such a Jim Norton way,
so
he goes,
good at
he goes,
Yeah.
"I don't care," and he just started laughing. Like he gets it. He goes, he is so good at that. It was hilarious.
They're filming the special on Saturday, but I know that Lewis is doing shows Thursday through Saturday at Side Splitters. So I don't know how available tickets are, but I know that once it gets closer, it will sell out, and certainly the taping on Saturday will sell out. So if you want to get tickets, 960-1197 or sidesplitterscomedy.com. Get them now.
Nice.
Especially before they come on the show, and then it gets really sold out.
You want to hop up to warm up the crowd?
Oh.
No, I am
Get
out
on the
on this
special.
one. I will be there for the filming of the
Right.
special as a spectator.
Has Bobby directed stuff before or
I
no?
don't know. I don't.
I mean,
know.
he's been around it enough.
Yes, he definitely knows what he's doing.
Right.
And he's taken charge on this one. He's already had Side Splitters paint their wall.
Oh.
Yeah, up on stage. So yeah, I guess Bobby will be here on Thursday and get everything ready for the weekend.
Cool.
The comics, they love side splitters, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's low ceilings.
So Black Sabbath's Back to the Beginning concert was watched by 5 million fans. I was one of them. The original classic lineup, Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Bill Ward, boasts a legacy that's almost impossible to quantify. I sat there and watched the entire thing. Mastodon kicked it off.
Okay, questions.
Yes.
But I'm jumping around.
We can
I'm
go
jumping
through
around.
it. Go through it.
What band did Sharon kick off the tour?
So
the story is that all these bands, none of them made any money off of this. They were either all given tickets to get there or had to find their own way there or whatever. There was no artist rider. Nobody got paid for it. It was all to do it in tribute to Ozzy. One band wanted money for it. Sharon kicked them off the list. Who is the band?
Well, we know that Wolfgang Van Halen
Not Wolfgang.
was supposed to play, and then he said he was opening for Creed, but Creed didn't have shows for like 2 days after the thing, whatever.
Right.
So I don't know what the situation was there, but I don't know. I don't have that information. I don't know.
Who do you think it was?
A bunch of people thought it was Iron Maiden, but then she
Not
came
Iron
out
Maiden.
and said it was not Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
She said she would say who it is,
Yeah.
but she hasn't said it yet.
Hmm.
I mean, everybody seems to think specifically it was
Megadeth?
No.
Who?
Motley Crue.
Oh, really?
they
they
wanted
said-
to get paid?
Well, yeah, Motley Crue wanted to get paid because they were like, Sharon makes money off everything, and they were right.
Sure.
If they weren't, if I'm Motley Crue, I'm going to go, yeah, we'll come if you pay us. If you're not going to pay us, thank you for the invite, but we're not coming. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because they charged for the pay-per-view and they were sold millions of those pay-per-views,
Yeah.
so they made a ton of money off of
yeah.
that thing,
Yeah.
and all not to mention all the ticket sales and all that. They made a ton of money off of that event.
Yeah.
And then to just now, I get where Metallica and all these rich bands. I mean, not that Motley Crue's not rich, but all these rich bands said, "Hey, yeah, we want to go pay tribute to Ozzy. We're going to do it." But I respect the band that says, "No, I'm not doing it for free."
Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell you, if I'm there, I'm getting paid to be there. That's the key.
Yeah, especially whenever you see that, Motley Crue has a lot of money and stuff, but Nikki Sixx did photography for a while, and then he was selling his cameras on like eBay.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know. It just seems weird to me that you're selling your cameras. I mean, I
If
get
I
it.
had
Everybody
Nikki
still
Sixx
needs money.
and I had a camera that I'd be like, let me give it to some kid who can't afford a camera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You would think you would go to, some maybe high school or college photography class and go,
It's
here, I want to
different.
donate this.
It's different if I had a guitar and I played it and I wanted to get rid of it. Then I'd want to sell it. It's
Yeah.
like Nikki Sixx used guitar is a big
Kirk
difference.
Hammett does that. He
Yeah.
just puts it on reverb and doesn't even say it's him.
Yeah. I mean, that's and you want to give it to somebody else and give them, but I mean, I don't know.
So this claims that Sharon says that the money was all going to charity, and that's why nobody was taking a cut.
Well, it did go. I know that there was Parkinson's because literally
Yeah.
every commercial was, sick people and kids and Parkinson's, and obviously Ozzy has Parkinson's. So there was a lot of that throughout the entire broadcast. That's what the commercials were.
I don't
were for
believe that she didn't make any money.
She
off
had to have made
Probably
money.
not.
Even if she's donating that, she probably made it, donated, and then took the donation. That's a tax write-off. And
Listen, I've learned a lot
da-da-da-da-da.
of things about owning a charity. There's only a certain amount of money that has to be donated from money collected to be considered a charity. Anytime we ever do
Right.
anything for the Calta Family Foundation, 100% in, 100% out. But if I go and I go, hey, a portion of the proceeds go to charity, I only have to give like 12% to the charity, and then I get to keep the rest of the money.
Yeah.
That's insane.
She says this was set up as a charity event, not a time to make profit.
Well, They chose to not be a part of it.
Yeah.
I don't even really, Motley Crue stinks these days, and I feel like that's probably why they didn't want to do it.
You know who I think stinks? I watched a lot of the clips from that.
Let's get through this. Let's get through this because I think there were some standouts, and I think there was some that it was like, what are you doing?
There was one I saw. I was like, wow.
I have a feeling I know exactly.
Can we take a break before we get to, because I want to play some clips and all that stuff, and we'll talk about it when we come back.
Yeah, we have some other news to get to
we'll
as
get
well.
to it.
But yeah, we need to kind of break this down and go through it all because I definitely had a lot of thoughts.
Already 8:06, and I do want to get into this. So we'll talk about the Ozzy concert when we come back. If you want to get on the phone lines, 800-771-1025. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 1025 The Bone. Two great concerts happening this weekend. You had the reunited Oasis brothers, Noel and Liam Gallagher, as they performed live in Cardiff for the first time in 16 years. I watched way more of that than I did of Ozzy.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because I saw a thing that it said Oasis reunion, and it was a bus, wasn't it? It said Ozzy Black Sabbath thing when they're smashing through it. So the big back to the beginning, Black Sabbath, where all the different bands came up and played and would do, some of their songs, and then they do a Black Sabbath song. Some did more than one Black Sabbath song. It kicked off with Mastodon, I thought was great. They came out and was unbelievable. Rival Sons, fantastic. Anthrax, great. Hailstorm. I am not a huge fan of Hailstorm, the band.
But she can sing.
Lizzie is one of the greatest singers of all time, and she came out and did other stuff with like kind of all-star bands and stuff. She is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, she can sing.
She's
great.
Unbelievable for sure. Lamb of God was great. Then you had Tom Morello's All-Stars, which featured Nuno Betancourt, who makes it look so easy.
He is. Nuno Betancourt, if you don't know, is a guitarist from Extreme. He did More Than Words, and he had a couple of songs with Extreme. He is such an amazing guitarist. He plays with Rihanna a lot, and he plays with other pop artists. Like he'll be the guitar player, the studio musician on their album. He is phenomenal. He really is.
And had Mike Borden, who was longtime drummer for Ozzy. Faith No More originally, but played on a bunch of Ozzy albums and toured with him. By the way, Mike Borden looked so much like Dino. It's unbelievable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, except for he had long dreads and stuff. But I was like, who does he look like? Looks like Dino. The Dave Elfson from Megadeth was on bass. Lizzie Hale singing, and I talked about it to Josh. I was saying, does Jakey Lee show up? I hope. Jakey Lee is one of my favorite guitarists of all time. Badlands, that first album, may be in my top 5 all-time albums.
Really?
I love Jakey Lee.
I saw Jakey Lee about 5 years ago on a big comeback thing, and he was at in LA at the big club there in LA. What's the Whiskey?
Mm-hmm.
He performed live there. I happened to be in LA at the time, but it was like, you gotta go. It's gonna be the great thing. I went. It was the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. But I guess what? He was sick for a while.
He got shot.
Oh, he got shot.
Remember,
okay.
He got shot when he was walking his dog. And
but that
was
pretty recently.
It was pretty recent.
No, but before that, was he sick or was he just on drugs?
I think Boozy Susie.
But and then the thing is that he couldn't perform live because he was still a little like recovering from that, and he performed that night. I saw him. It was pretty awesome. And then the rumor was that he was not involved in this until Ozzy called him and said, "Come and do this," and that's when he went.
So I was super excited.
Yeah.
Love Jakey Lee. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they gave him the wrong guitar.
No.
Oh, it was bad. He came out and did the one song, and I was like, that sounds kind of out of tune. And then they started another song, and he started playing and literally went like this.
No.
And then kind of shrugged and was like, and then it was just that, and then he was gone.
Yeah, they took him out.
He was gone.
The word was that he was wasted.
Yeah, I guess because then they did Shot in the Dark, and Nuno played.
Yeah,
right. Was it Shot in the Dark? But also David Draymond from Disturbed came out there, and people were booing him.
Do you know why?
Because of his Palestine-Israel thing. Yeah.
He says he came out afterwards, said he was not being booed. And then you cut to clips from the crowd, and everybody's like, F you!
He was clearly being booed.
He said it wasn't as bad as people said it was, but
all the clips say otherwise.
Yeah.
But it was weird because he didn't come out and say anything.
Not there.
But
not there, yeah.
But that was weird to me.
The guy's Jewish.
Yeah.
What do you expect him to say?
I don't know why that's such a weird stance, whatever. But Alice in Chains, fantastic. You had Travis Barker and Chad Smith and Danny Carey came out and did a drum thing, whatever. It was pretty cool. More of Tom Morello's All Stars, which can I just say, BS. Steven Tyler, you can't sing anymore.
Yeah.
Steven
What was that all
Tyler
about?
came
Doing Led
out
Zeppelin?
and rocked it. By the way, we have a clip of Steven Tyler. This is Steven Tyler, who's what, 70 something, maybe 80 years
But
old
also
now?
retiring because his
Retired.
voice isn't working.
Can't sing anymore.
I thought he was dying.
Right.
Like he's like can't do anything anymore. Probably dying soon.
Aerosmith not touring, can't sing anymore. Take a listen to him, not singing.
Just give me a kiss.
So this was amazing.
Yeah.
Who's playing guitar?
Nuno and Tom Morello.
So is Steven Tyler trying to show the world that he can sing? I feel like they're saying Steven can't sing, and he was like, well, I'll show you. I'm gonna sing my song. I'm gonna kill it, and then I'm going to sing one of the hardest songs ever to sing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
And now granted, if it's Walk This Way, you know how to sing Walk This Way with backup singers so that they can carry it a little bit and you don't sound so bad. But when you're doing Led Zeppelin raw like that in front of all those people live hitting those high notes, that's unbelievable.
Oh, but it also looked great, sounded great, was moving around awesome.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is the deal? Are him and Joe Perry not getting along?
But they were hanging out.
Just hanging out. Yeah.
It's
so
got to be he can't do it night after night.
All the
Maybe.
time.
Okay, so
doing
I'll-
a one-off is different than
Give me-
doing like 25 dates.
give me 5 shows a year and charge me out the ass.
yeah,
for
and
it.
also one song compared to probably
That's
2
right.
hours
That's
Yeah.
right.
is a big difference.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, if he saved it up, if he put all his
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
into this, he absolutely killed it. It was fantastic. And I mean, everything about it was great. I
He
was
got
like,
so evidently there was a talk about Aerosmith doing something over the weekend. I guess it was sparked by this, but the fact that Joe Perry and Steven Tyler were together, and then now he's out there singing.
It sucks they were coming here and we're not going to get
I
that.
know, I know.
It's got to be the endurance though. Like just, doing 1 or 2 songs compared to every night and you're doing
Probably.
2 hours set.
That's definitely
That's a big difference.
but I got to tell you, one of the standout performances
Oh, it
for
sounded
sure.
amazing.
It was unbelievable.
And he looked good too. Like
Then you had Pantera come out. Pantera sounded fantastic. And of course, they did Planet Caravan, Sabbath, which they had recorded earlier.
did you see Jason Momoa,
Yeah.
who was like the MC of the event?
Yes.
Jumped over, got in the crowd in the mosh pit for Pantera.
But I mean, it
was
wasn't
like-
in there with
no.
security. He just went in there and was going crazy
he
with
was just
everybody.
like in the mosh pit with people.
Which I thought was really cool that Sharon asked him to do it, to
Yeah.
come out and kind of host and stuff and everything. He's a metalhead.
Right.
He totally is. You should have seen him. As they're showing people up on stage, he's behind them with a camera,
Yeah.
like taking pictures and then going out in the mosh pit and everything. Like he was loving it for sure.
I used to go in those mosh pits like that when I was younger, and it was so much fun.
Tool came out next. Tool, whether you like him or not, I got to tell you, Tool sounded so good.
No,
Yeah.
So I don't really like Tool's music, but I know that guy can sing.
Yeah.
And I watched him do it. He was great.
Yeah, but the whole band is so
Yeah.
tight and sounds so good. It's unbelievable. Then you had Slayer, who don't really get along. Carrie and Tom don't really get along anymore. Killed
Yeah.
it. Sounded great. Slayer, always unbelievable.
That's so smart when people who listen, we're not going to be best friends, but we've got a really good product together.
Yeah.
Let's just go out and do what we do and make our money and give the people what they want.
Yeah, because they're going to do some shows and do stuff, whatever. Carrie's out touring and doing his stuff, whatever. But they, kind of Slayer retired, and then they came back and said, we'll do some shows. We'll do some stuff.
Do you think Kiss was the band that Sharon kicked off the tour?
Well, Kiss done, though, supposedly. Right?
Yeah,
they did
but,
their
or
farewell.
if it was Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley.
Maybe I could see Gene Simmons saying I have to get paid.
Right.
He's getting paid for everything.
Everybody was guessing that it was Kiss because of Gene Simmons.
Certainly could
Yeah.
be. Certainly could be. Then I guess Fred Durst had like a recorded thing that he
Yeah.
did, whatever. And now the band that I think we're all talking about. The band sounded great.
Oh yeah,
Didn't know that they hired Mickey Mouse to sing for them.
dude.
Guns N' Roses was so ridiculous.
Oh wait, I thought you were talking about the Sammy Hagar. thing. Did you hear that?
So Sammy, it's weird with Sammy. Sammy singing other people's stuff sounds weird.
Yeah.
Sammy singing his own stuff, because once they did Montrose, they did Rock Candy, it sounded fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sammy could sing. It's not a question. It was just a weird thing. Okay, yeah. So Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses comes out and does like 4 Sabbath songs right off the bat, and then did Welcome to the Jungle, did Paradise City. So you get like their big hits too, whatever. But it is literally like the music. You're like, yeah, and the new drummer I was watching, I was like, this guy's great. Sounds really good. Welcome to the jungle.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. I read about it.
Oh my God.
It sounds
Do
like
we have any of it?
No, God damn it. Yeah, see if you can find it.
It sounds like a woman singing karaoke in a dive bar.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
It was really unbelievable.
Like Axl, you want to talk about can't sing.
Can't sing.
Axl Rose cannot sing anymore.
Cannot sing. It was so wild. If I ever paid money to see Guns N' Roses and that came out, I'd just go home. I'd go. I got ripped off.
That's so funny. You thought the same thing, because I started seeing clips. I'm thinking, wow, this is really, really bad.
I thought my wife was going to start crying. It was so bad.
All right.
Did you say also that was the first time Ozzy and Axl
ever met?
Ever, which is crazy.
Wild. That was weird. How is that possible?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. It's bad audio, but Slash is wearing a Public Enemy shirt.
Yeah.
And I saw Chuck D posted over the weekend a picture of him of the shirt. It says, "I see you." At Slash.
Cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's funny because every once in a while Axl would be singing like that, and then he'd go and like go back into the old Axl, and you go, "Oh, do that."
That's pretty awful.
And I was looking at the band's faces to like see the reaction. I'm like, they hear that in their ears.
Right.
They got to know this does not sound great.
Yeah. It's wild because like you hear like whenever he goes games, he says games, and you hear old Axl where he goes games and does like that, and you're like, oh,
he probably can't maintain it.
No, totally can't. And I get it. You know, he's 60 years old. He sang that stuff when he was 20 and recorded it and stuff and everything.
Did you see the things on the internet? They're like, stop giving Axl such a hard time. He's 60 years old. He's been touring for all these years, and then they show Steven Tyler, and you're like,
yeah, because there was one I put out like about a month ago, whatever. It cut to Dio, who when he was 67 and he's singing, it's like, oh my God. Metallica came out next. Metallica absolutely killed it. They always do. And then Ozzy came out.
Did Metallica do Ozzy songs?
Yeah, so they did a Hole in the Sky. They opened with Sabbath, and then they did Creeping Death, For Whom the Bell Tolls. They did Battery, Master of Puppets. You know, they sounded great. Then Ozzy came out for Ozzy solo stuff.
Right.
We have a little of Ozzy talking and saying goodbye.
Oh, that's nice. It's nice that they do this while he's alive.
Yes.
Instead of doing it after he dies. You know.
A couple of the big observations I thought of Ozzy. I thought for sure, like a teleprompter to read the songs. Not that I can see it all.
He's got to know.
Yeah, he knows all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe they've got backing tracks or lip syncing, but then it didn't seem like that was the case at all either.
Ozzy sounded decent.
Yeah.
For being 80 years old,
stuck in a
Parkinson's,
chair.
in the chair. You could see him, you know, like moving around and stuff, you know, having trouble. But I thought he sounded decent, all things considered.
Yeah.
You know, and they tuned down for him and stuff.
The crowd carried him at times, but
Yeah.
I was very surprised at how good he sounded.
You know, and that was with Zakk Wylde, and Zakk Wylde is so good.
Yeah.
And then Black Sabbath after that, and Black Sabbath did War Pigs, NIB, Iron Man, and Paranoid. So only 4 songs from Sabbath, but that was great.
All you need.
Yeah.
What a way to go out. If that's your last time ever,
For sure.
What a way to go out. You can't top that.
Like, would you be mad, or would you be like, that's awesome if Ozzy killed himself at the last? He said, I don't know what else to say, thank you. And then just went, boom. Just
Played
blew his
Suicide
brain.
Solution.
Yeah, just killed himself right there on stage.
I think he's definitely dead in 6 months.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know about 6 months, but I think, you know, he's
by
seen
the end of the year, there's no longer Ozzy.
Yeah, I just, you know, imagine that feeling to know that you get to see how many lives you've touched, or you get to see a small fraction of how many lives you've touched just through the bands that have made it. Like all those bands that went out there and said, hey, without Black Sabbath, we would have never been here.
Yeah.
And without Ozzy, we would never do it this way. And, you know, he's like the grandfather of all those guys.
Dude, when he did Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Yeah.
Whole
everybody was crying.
Everybody's in like tears.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so I think really the big standouts for it, the entire thing, was Steven Tyler was a huge standout. I thought Lizzie Hale, absolutely unbelievable. I thought Guns N' Roses sounded terrible. Jakey Lee, I was sad about. I really wanted
the winners and the losers.
Oh, I was like, oh, come on, Jake, do something. Nope, not going to happen, yeah.
Still, I would have rather have been in Oasis.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I watched a lot of that. Devin Siebold was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he made the trip.
Where
To go
was
check
it at, though?
in Cardiff, in England.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, and I saw a lot of video. They sounded really good. They
Yeah.
had a good set list, and they sounded really good. And they came out together. And
I saw the brothers holding hands at the end.
Oh boy,
that's good, man. That's just, it's good that they came back. Like I like the fact that they fight. I like that they came back.
Will it go the distance?
Yes.
The tour?
Yes,
I think so, too.
I think they're old enough to.
I think
make
there's
sense.
so much insane amount of money they're going to make.
I think that they manufacture some BS.
Yeah,
like there's the. Let's start taking separate buses so people think that we're fighting. It's more interesting that way.
I wonder how much money just from their discography of how much money they have, from that is not touring and doing everything.
I watch a lot of Liam on English television shows because he's hilarious. And he said at one point he was like, I don't know. He uses such colorful language. I don't know. I don't even know what half of it means.
Because I remember him saying like he used to have people that made tea for him.
Right.
And this and that.
Right. Now he does his own.
Now he does his own tea.
stuff,
so that's saying like how much.
But he says I don't quite have the money coming in that I used to have coming in. So he said I don't think they're in any danger of being poor.
Right.
Says Liam's worth about 52. It says they're both worth about 52 million.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Right. They did this thing with him on a talk show where he's been on a bunch of times, and they said we're going to tell you things that you've said about other celebrities, and you tell us who you're talking about. And he was like, okay. And they're like, this guy, you said he had a pumpkin head and an old lady's face. And he was like, oh, and it was a soccer player. And like, yeah. But they go, how about this guy? Do you remember Jamie Oliver, the chef, celebrity chef? The story is that he bought an apartment down the block from where they used to drink. So they would go drinking at his bar, and then they would go over and they would throw rocks at his window until he made them food. And Liam says, Liam, what do you want? I'm trying to put the kids to bed. And he said, send me down a couple of those bacon sandwiches.
There was a story where he was at some party or something, or he was at a bar, and one of the guys from Maroon 5 was there. And he was saying Maroon 5, terrible, blah, blah, blah. These guys are losers, whatever. And then they went to an after party, and they're hanging out. And then he saw the guy from Maroon 5, and he goes, what are you doing here? And he goes, this is my apartment. Like, this is my party. And he was like, oh, nice place.
John Bon Jovi said that Liam would call him every night for like a year to tell him how bad his music was. He said at one point I offered him $50,000 to stop calling me.
Hilarious. So weird. Yeah, so that was a big, big weekend of shows and stuff. Let's see. Oh, more music news. Drummer Matt Cameron has left Pearl Jam after 27 years. Yeah, he thanked the band for, quote, giving him the opportunity of a lifetime, one filled with friendship, artistry, challenges, and laughter. So what do we think? Matt Cameron is just like, I'm rich. I'm done. I don't need to tour anymore.
I was listening to a show the other day, and they were like, Matt Cameron's son graduated college or the other day or whatever. They were like, Eddie was just giving him a shout out. And I thought, this guy probably missed so much of that, He was touring, there's not a time to tour, and he's probably like, I'm in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. I have 2 successful bands that I've played with, both of them for a tremendous amount of time, and I have $1 gazillion. I think I'm done now.
62 years old, says he's worth $70 million. Played with Soundgarden, played with Pearl Jam, like you said, in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for both.
Right.
Yeah.
What more do you need to do?
One of the greatest drummers. Like, he's absolutely unbelievable. So, yeah, he's probably like, all right, let somebody else do it. And there's plenty of people who can take over that spot.
And they're at drummer number 7 now. So it's not like they're not used to replacing the drummer.
But, of course, now the rumors are Matt Cameron going to Foo Fighters, Josh Freese going to Pearl Jam, all the different stuff. So we'll see what happens with that.
See that happening.
No, I don't think so either. I think he's smart enough. He's one of those guys that if you didn't know he was a rock star, you wouldn't in a million years know he was a rock star.
There are some drummers that make a difference. Jack Irons played for Pearl Jam, and Pearl Jam was good, but it sounded totally heavier and different. So I don't know. I think their best bet's to find somebody who sounds like what they sound like, but we'll see.
Roger Waters from Pink Floyd could face prosecution for supporting a Palestinian group that's been outlawed as terrorist organization.
He's a known anti-Semite.
Right, yeah. I mean, he's Nazi stuff and all kind of thing by the British government. So we'll see what happens with Roger Waters.
Nothing will happen with Roger Waters.
Who would you say is the highest grossing lead actor for all of the MCU movies?
So I know this because my son's friend asked me this yesterday. This must have just come out.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. I said I'd assume it was Robert Downey Jr. and then I assume Samuel L. Jackson because he's in all of them.
He's in all of them,
Right.
yeah, and all the different
But
stuff.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Both those are wrong.
Any guess?
I saw it.
Oh, you saw it? Scarlett Johansson has just been named the highest grossing lead actor in the
How
movies.
is that though?
The movies that where she's the star have made $14.8 billion. So when she's the star of the movie, so not all the movies put together.
Right.
It's, I guess, where
Okay.
they're
And
star.
it's not just Marvel movies, right? It's all of her movies.
all our movies. And she's in
Yeah.
the new Jurassic Park movie. And,
But
you know,
Samuel L. Jackson for a while was like the #1 box office actor because he was in so many different
Yeah.
things.
all
So
those
many.
things.
Because he said it was him and somebody else, and he goes, it would just kind of go back and forth, whatever. But she's followed by 2 of her MCU co-stars, Samuel L. Jackson and Robert Downey Jr.
Well, that's where the money is. Superhero movies.
Yeah, Sam Jackson's been in everything.
Everything.
He's in
Everything.
Star Wars, Jurassic Park. He's an Avenger.
Yeah,
like,
he's also like in little parts that you're like, oh, that's right, Sam Jackson was in that, you know.
he's in all the Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
he's in everything.
I'm not on Facebook. I mean, I guess I am on Facebook Marketplace because it's just I see ads for it every once in a while. So somebody put up, what was the character's name that he played in Django? Do you remember? It was it was just like a straight name like
Yeah, I
Jason or
remember.
something. Whatever.
Sam.
No, well, anyway, this girl, local girl, did an art picture of him, of that guy,
Stefan?
Steven.
Yeah.
And said, this is Steven from Django Unchained. And it was excellent. It looked just like him. And she made it. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to buy this and hang it in the green room or whatever, just to like support this girl because I think she did such a good job. And then I thought, this probably isn't the best thing for me to buy.
Yeah.
Maybe better for Joe.
That's
but
an
not
odd-
good for me.
That's an odd conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why do you have that guy from? So I was like, no, that's a bad idea.
We get enough questions about Leonardo DiCaprio from The Great Gatsby.
Right.
What was I remember whenever they were saying that Tarantino, they were like, he's racist and using the N-word all the time and blah, blah, blah. Samuel Jackson obviously stuck up for him because he's worked with him so much. And he goes, I know if somebody's racist or not. He goes, also, look at every character I've ever played for Quentin Tarantino. It's always the smartest guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's
But-
always the guy who's already in on it
Yeah.
and knows what's going on. And
In
you
the
know,
beginning, it was Denzel who went after him, and Denzel said, "Why do you feel like you have the liberty to use the N-word so much?" And Tarantino was like, "Because I make realistic movies. I'm making movies, you know."
A couple of deaths that happened while we were out. Julian McMahon, the Australian-born actor who performed in 2 Fantastic Four films and was on Charmed and Nip Tuck and some other shows, died at the age of 56, apparently with a battle with cancer that he had kept quiet.
Now, I hadn't seen that guy forever, so I didn't know what he was doing. But died in Clearwater.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I saw
I wonder
that.
what he was doing here.
I don't know, but whenever I saw the picture, I go, oh, yeah, you could see how much weight
Oh,
he had
sure,
lost and
yeah.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, died. It said died in Clearwater, Florida.
Only 56 years old,
Yeah.
too.
Scientology.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the first thing you think.
Could have been here for Moffat.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Going back to Quentin Tarantino, Michael Madsen, the actor known for
Yeah.
his roles in Tarantino films, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, Reservoir Dogs. He was 67 years old. He was found unresponsive in his Malibu home on Thursday morning, according to his rep, who said that the cause appeared to be cardiac arrest.
He's a monster though, and I think he's a former drug guy, or maybe a current drug guy, or a boozer.
He was quite the boozer, but I guess he was sober for a few months leading up to his death.
So the only good thing to come out of this is I saw a bunch of clips. I like Michael Madsen. I love Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
And there's a famous scene in Reservoir Dogs where he cuts the cop's ear off.
Yeah.
So he said the script. This is I always wonder. He said I got the script, and it says he goes over and dances maniacally, and then cuts the ear off. And he said I went over there, and so he goes, I didn't know what that meant, and I don't even think he said maniacally, or I think he said mechanically. And he goes, and I went over there and I just did this dance, and as I'm doing it, I noticed Quentin is not cutting it, so I figure it must be going good. So I lean into it, and he goes, and then I cut the ear off, and it says take the ear and throw it, but instead I talk into the ear first and
That's
then throw it.
great.
I was like, that's what made him great,
That's great.
man. That's what made it great. It's the
Oh.
difference between good and great.
Matt Damon talks about in The Departed where Jack Nicholson and his right-hand man kill the lady at the beach.
Yeah.
Whatever. And he said that was the scene. It was just them out there and they killed the lady, whatever. And they kept rolling. And Jack Nicholson said, she fell funny.
Yeah.
Meaning he's killed so many people, he knows how they fall.
Yeah.
And then he kept on going like further and further and stuff. And he goes, and they kept it all in. He goes, because that's Jack Nicholson. He's such a good actor and can come up with so much stuff. Yeah, that's wild.
It's a difference between being good and great. Is taking those chances. Yeah.
For sure. But you got to think, at what point do you take those chances? You take those chances right off the bat, and the director goes, shut up, read the script, or do you get a little bit of heat on you and go, I can start doing some stuff?
There have been, I've read stories where people are like, and I felt like this, so I went with it, and the director said, stick to the script.
Yeah.
So, I guess it depends on who the director is. Some directors have a reputation for letting you do your own thing, you know?
Finally in news, speaking of movies, maybe you saw F1 and you weren't as impressed as Gio was. If you've been in a funk lately or something, here are the most inspirational movies of all time.
Oh, okay.
Most inspirational.
All right.
Okay, so something that made you really feel good or feel like, oh, I could go and
I don't know that I
do
have
this.
one of those.
Yeah?
Maybe if you say it, I'll.
Well, we talked about one earlier that definitely would be on the list. Forrest Gump comes in number 9.
What does that inspire you to?
He was disabled.
Well,
they had the whole world against him.
Yeah.
And he accomplished everything.
So it's not necessarily, it's inspirational.
All right,
not that you're going to go and follow the same path.
Like,
but it's-
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans is, let's see.
Excellent movie. Remember the Titans.
Not on the list. Not in the top 15.
How about Rocky?
Rocky, that's the one I was talking about. We talked about earlier. Rocky comes in number 4.
And there's more inspirational movies than Rocky.
What about Rudy?
Rudy comes in at number 5.
Yeah.
That
Comes
fake
in at number
movie.
5.
That fake movie.
That's a
Joe
great
Montana
movie.
said none of that happened.
That's so good.
I'll give you some of the what, Carmen?
Oh, I was just gonna say the Blind Side. I was thinking of, like,
Blindside,
recent.
not in the top 15. Number 15 is The Grapes of Wrath.
Okay.
Number 14, Aaron Brockovich,
No, that's a good movie.
the little man taking down the big man type thing, whatever. Number 13, never saw it. Bend It Like Beckham.
Yeah.
I never saw it. Yeah.
Number 12 is Coda. I believe that's the one with the girl with the deaf family. It won a bunch of awards and stuff. I didn't see that. Number 11, Cool Runnings.
That's a great movie.
Cool Runnings on the Jamaican bus.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
Number 10, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Never saw it.
Number 9, we got Forrest Gump. Number 8 came out in 2014, Wild. Is that the... I don't know what that is. Anybody? Wild?
No, no.
Number 7 also came out in 2014, Selma. Number 6, these are the most inspirational movies according to this list here. Number 6 is Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, Steve Carell.
You got number 5 and number 4 is Rudy and Rocky. Number 3, most inspirational movies of all time.
More than Rocky.
Oh, The Godfather.
No way.
Legally Blonde.
Oh, come on.
Stop.
She can go to Harvard.
If she puts her mind to it, I get it. I'm in.
and
Yes.
It's a pedicure.
Yes.
Stop.
Number 2, most inspirational movies.
Back to the Future.
Shane Gillis's dad calls it Medea Goes to the Moon. It's known as Hidden Figures.
Oh, Hidden Figures is a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a great
It's
movie.
a good movie.
Number 1, according to this list, the most inspirational movie of all time. More inspirational than Rocky, which I can't believe. I mean, Rocky's like the great underdog story.
Medea Goes to the Moon.
Return of the Jedi.
No.
Give me a hint. Give us a hint.
Baseball.
Oh, Field of Dreams.
Not Field of Dreams.
Sandlot.
Not Sandlot.
Bull Durham?
Not Bull Durham. Not
Moneyball?
League of Their Own?
Not Bad News Bears.
Angels
not
in the
Moneyball.
Outfield?
Not Angels in the Outfield. What did you say?
A League of Their Own?
There's no crying in baseball. A League of Their Own. Most inspirational movie of all time.
I mean, great movie, but I don't know if most inspirational.
I mean,
More
I would
than Rocky.
I would describe it as a lot of things. I don't know that inspirational
Yeah.
would be it. Not even-
Inspirational, yeah.
Girls
For
play-
females, for like female athletes and stuff like that. It is.
Boo.
Yeah, listen, I'm just
Can
saying from a
Can I
different
tell
point of
you
view.
the big takeaway from League of Their Own is every time I pick my daughter up from volleyball and some large girl comes out, I go, hey, what's up with Marla Hooch over there?
Can I tell you, I saw like a fun fact about movies and stuff. And one thing about that movies was the director wanted to make it so realistic. So they were not allowed to wear sliding shorts.
Right.
So all the burns and cuts and scrapes that they got were actually real.
Yeah. You want to play baseball? That's what happens.
That was
you want to play a man sport?
Penny Marshall, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to play man sport, Carmen? You get man injuries.
Yeah. Well, but men got to wear pants back then.
Because we're smart.
And girls had to wear skirts.
Dirt in the skirt.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there's like one scene in particular where she gets like a really bad sliding burn.
That was real?
And that's real because they weren't allowed to wear like sliding shorts.
Yeah,
Again, this was a fun fact on Instagram. Who knows if that's real, but it all looked real.
I found out.
Sounds real.
Also from Instagram that one of the attractive brunette girls that was in there was Penny Marshall's daughter.
Oh, yeah?
I did not know that. Yeah.
Surprisingly, she was attractive.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is great in that movie.
They're all great.
Yeah, really is
Rose
good.
O'Donnell and Madonna are good in the movie. It's a good movie.
I love the seventh thing when you scratch your balls.
I got to tell you, as far as inspirational movies and talking about baseball, I told you I watched it the other day and it was great. The Rookie with Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
You want to go, hokey. Then you're just like, oh my God, he's making it the Major Leagues.
Inspirational movie. You guys told me to watch The Mule. I did watch it. It was fantastic.
Great, right?
That's a really good
I don't know
movie.
how that got past my radar.
Yeah.
Because it's a couple years old, but it was fantastic.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I watch it every time it's on, and it was on the other day, and I had to watch it again, is Limitless.
Yeah.
Limitless is so good. Yeah. Well, there you go. That is it for news.
All right, Calvin, thank you. Just in time, we got to take a break, and then Ask the Dom is doing the top of the hour. So if you have a legal question you want to get through, 800-771-1025. You also got another chance to win $1,000 happening, so don't go anywhere. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 1025 The Bone. When is that happening?
9 o'clock.
It's 9:06.
Carmen,
What?
did you do it?
Yeah. I did it at 9 o'clock.
Oh, we didn't hear.
She's
Yeah.
the best. She's
Oh.
the best.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
I
my God, you
I
made. I was
figured
like,
you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just weren't. We were
Mike
over
is
here.
the one that didn't think you did.
No,
it.
no.
Okay,
I was
okay.
saying, and it happened again at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was saying, when's the next time it happens?
Oh, next time is
Yes.
10.
because clearly Carmen did it at 6.
Never a doubt.
Nope, 9. Oh my
Never a doubt.
Carmen,
I'm doubting myself now. Did I do it?
I feel like me and you never hang out. Are we going to hang out at the Bowen Beach Bash?
Yeah. You gonna come paddleboarding?
No.
She's probably going to be in the pool a lot. So
I'll be in the pool, but the
At
gravity of me and the paddleboard together, it doesn't seem like that's a very good.
But you can sit.
I don't want to sit on the paddle. I want to be a fat guy sitting on a paddleboard.
Well, listen, I'm probably gonna be sitting, especially if I have a couple drinks beforehand.
Oh.
That's no joke.
Oh, wouldn't it be sad if Carmen drowned?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She went
I'm-
out wasted on the
What-
paddleboard.
Listen,
and
I'm
never
gonna
heard from
lay
again.
down.
Yeah, I'll do
No,
it.
I'm
You,
kidding.
I'll lay down. You pull me around.
Okay.
Yeah.
what if you just paddleboard on Mike's back?
Yeah,
You could just float out there and
I'm remarkably.
Use him as the paddle.
Yeah. I don't know why that's so funny. Dude.
I saw Dizzy had a picture of him like riding you at the beach
Yeah,
party.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that too.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that too. We got a bunch. Anyway, that is happening on July 18th to the 20th out at the Sky Beach Resort in St. Petersburg. It's all brought to you by Neutral. I don't think that we're going to be able to drink the amount of drinks that they've supplied for us.
challenge accepted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you drinking?
Of course.
Oh,
Come on. What do you think? I'm not going to drink at the beach party? We're staying there.
You know, I really want to drink.
Who?
And won't do it.
Who?
Pete.
Oh, yeah.
I called him up Friday before we played at the beach club, and I go, Pete, I need drunk Pete tonight. He goes, oh, no. I go, come on. He's like, I can still be fun. I go,
It's been a couple years,
it's
right?
right. He's
For
due,
him?
right?
No.
Carmen, if you tell him to do it, he'll do it.
Who do you think you have a better chance of drinking, Pete or Bobby?
Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pete.
Bobby's. Pete
Oh,
doesn't
Pete.
need to stop. Pete just stopped.
Yeah,
for-
Pete just, he's an alcoholic. He just didn't want to drink anymore because he didn't like the way it feels. But all it takes is a girl to rub his chest for a couple of minutes, and he'll be like, all right.
I feel like
I'll
I'm
pick
getting to
one.
that point.
Yeah.
You need a girl to rub your chest.
That and with drinking.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the last couple times I really not been drinking hardly at all. And the last couple times I thought, I don't think I really like this anymore.
It's
Like-
funny, Gio. Like,
Yeah.
I never drank as much as you drink.
yeah.
But, we would go out and drink and do that. And then just one time I just went, you know what? I just blah. I
Yeah.
don't like it that much. Takes a lot for me to get drunk. And then I feel bad, and not even mostly the alcohol, mostly just the sugary drinks
That's
and all
the
this stuff. And
problem.
I was just like, oh, it's so much, whatever. But then on occasion, like I think the last time I drank was probably New Orleans after the cruise. Yeah.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
No, that was
No, it
before.
was before, yeah.
So then the cruise was the last time I drank, probably.
That's kind of where I'm at now. Where just like occasionally, if there's something going on,
Yeah.
I'll have it, but not
I
like
smashed it at Whiskey Willie's.
yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I like now is drugs.
Oh yeah.
No.
What do you do?
Yeah.
I
What kind
don't.
of drugs you doing?
No, I wish I could do. I can't. I mean, I'm not doing drugs, but prescription drugs are just the best drugs to do.
Oh
dude.
boy.
Yeah, I'm just saying
That's-
that's why you can't do it. They're
careful with
deadly,
that.
and yeah.
I'm,
Why-
s- I'm still chasing my way back to that propofol.
that's what I mean. Like that's the best stuff that you could do if you could do it.
I can't stop thinking about getting knocked out for my colonoscopy.
Can I tell you that I did this a while back? In fact, I think it was at our thing that we did the Christmas reading thing, whatever. I took some edibles and then had some drinks. That was nice.
Yeah.
Because, it just, I mean, the edibles already, going and stuff. And then you just have a couple drinks, whatever. And then you're just making a nice place.
That's a nice cruise. Yeah.
Can I remind you guys of the Fifth Amendment on this show?
What is that?
You guys are making admissions left and right.
What's legal? What's
Yeah,
legal?
there's nothing illegal.
No, stop it. Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, but I mean, like I'm
Marijuana.
talking about prescription drugs and medicinal marijuana.
Propofol.
Yeah, and Gio got a colonoscopy when he got his propofol. It wasn't like he just bought it at
Yeah, it was
Citgo.
As legal counsel, I'm just making my statement, and you guys go on from here.
now I know a guy.
Yep.
Do you know a guy with propofol?
Yeah.
Hey, you're not going to be harshing our buzz at the Bone Bash, are you?
Listen, wait about that. Just keep in mind there was an amendment to one of the laws here that makes a first offense refusal of a breath test or urine in a DUI case now a second-degree misdemeanor. So not to rain on your parade, but that sucker's effective October 1st.
Wait, explain what that means.
Explain
again.
that, please.
So if you don't know, you don't blow. Remember I said that
Sure.
16 years ago? The
Yeah.
law is changing unless it's vetoed by the governor. So if you get pulled over for suspicion of DUI and you refuse to provide a breath or urine sample under House Bill 687, that is a second-degree misdemeanor.
So let me ask you this, Dom. I get pulled over and they test me and I can't refuse, and they test me either breath or blood and it comes back zeros, nothing. What do I get back now?
Yeah.
well, what happened?
How do you do?
Well, what happens is you can still get arrested for a DUI.
On a zero.
That's crazy. Yeah,
On
I
it-
know.
on-
That's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah, and it becomes an issue there where I deal with the state attorney's office. So a lot of times and the statute's bifurcated. So this is the kind of fun part of DUI defense is if law enforcement thinks that you're under the influence of alcohol and their suspicion leads them in that direction, and then you provide a breath sample and you're below a .08. Again, this is for a Class C driver's license, not CDLs. And then they realize, oh, darn it, you're not impaired beyond your normal faculties. Then they'll start fishing. And then they'll jump to say, well, something else has got to be going on. Now I want a urine sample. And the statute's very clear. You can't do that. If you believe that somebody is under the suspicion of a controlled substance, then you have to ask for a urinalysis. If you believe they're under the influence of alcohol, then you ask for a breath test. But usually they go right for the breath. If that yields something less, then they double back and fish for the urine, and then I just have a good time at my motions, and I talk with the assistant state attorney.
Listen, man, don't fish for my urine. I'm telling you
But-
right now.
Not to rain on the party or the parade, but again, this is happening this month. This law.
No
does
one's
not go into
driving,
effect.
buddy.
Yeah, people,
No
are,
one's
people are
driving.
staying there, and we encourage people to Uber, get some sort of ride share or something. So
I might
Correct.
even do acid that weekend.
Oh,
yeah.
Somebody give me
Wait.
some good acid.
Fifth
Gold-
Amendment.
Now we're-
Fifth
Gold-
Amendment.
the golden
But-
god over here is going to jump off the roof.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that law is not in effect until October 1st. But I'm going to talk about it on your show, my show, so everybody is prepared. I just don't want anybody to get, into a pickle based on what they think they know of what we've been discussing for years and years. Things change. So other than that, good morning to you
Can I
guys.
tell you what law really hit me hard this weekend?
What law hit you hard?
I can only drive 99.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's the House Bill 351 creates a second-degree misdemeanor going 50 miles an hour plus or over 100 miles an hour. Now, here's the kicker. There's a max of 30 days jail for the first offense. That's max.
Oh
okay,
my
just I'm not that doesn't mean you're going to get it. That's just maximum. There's a 90 days for a subsequent offense. Mandatory 6 months to 1 year DL suspension if you have two within 5 years. And then that goes into effect already. That was July 1st.
So what if I'm doing a smooth 98? I'm safe?
Well, no, not necessarily, because if you're doing a smooth 98 in a zone where you're going to be clicked or clocked at 50 miles an hour over, you violated the statute. So it's not just 100. It's going 50 miles plus over or 100 miles an hour.
Gotcha.
You know, so if you're in a 30 mile an hour zone and you're booking, close to 100 but not at it, you got problems.
I got to tell you, this one hurts. I had to pay attention on the way home from Sarasota this weekend. All right, if you want to get through and you got a question for Dom, get on the phone lines now, 800-771-1025. Let's go to line 1 and welcome Anthony to the show. Anthony, good morning. I want to ask Dom, what do you got?
What's going on? So recently I own a business here, and we bought out we had a scummy partner. We bought him out. We both hired attorneys, all the jazz, got a contract. This was back in November. I found out on Monday that he's still wearing our uniforms. He's going to work. He's doing jobs. He's collecting money. He's giving out a warranty under our name, and then not showing back up to these jobs. Basically, we're just trying to get an idea of what's our next move, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, as far as going after this guy. And
he's still acting like he works for your company and carrying on business and creating bad reputation for you.
Correct. So he got a phone call where he solicited himself as us. He showed up to the customer's house, said he's one of the owners. He did the repair work. He sold her repairs and wildlife removal that was unnecessary. She didn't need it. And then he never reached back out. He collected $900 from her, gave her a 3-year warranty in our name. And then she ended up finding a secondary number, which was mine, online. And she called me and said, "Hey, I haven't heard from so-and-so. He's never been back. He did the work, collected my money." He wrote the whole estimate, put our company header on it, all that jazz, but put his personal number, collected money, and then has ghosted her. And I can assume that this isn't the first time, but now this just happened last Monday. We're trying to figure out where do we go, because we paid him a good chunk of money. We're actually still paying him. We do monthly installments. We put a bunch of money down and we make installments, and we don't know where to go now at this point. Do we get an attorney? Do we sue? What are the moves here?
Well, you guys have attorneys, correct? You mentioned that a moment ago.
We hired an attorney who did the buyout process for us. We hired him. We went through the closing of the business, the sale of the business, the acquisition, and that's all said and done. So we no longer actually have that attorney. We don't pay him anymore. We just used him for that one transaction.
So that deal never addressed anything that's happening in the future with this guy's future conduct. So he's holding himself out as you guys. That deal doesn't reflect that conduct, that he's not allowed to do that.
So the only thing I know is I was reading through the contract yesterday, and it's got a lot of stuff that I don't understand.
That's a problem.
But I was
You can't be signing contracts if you don't know everything that's in there.
Well, no. At the time back in November, we had our attorney draw it up to make sure that we were protected and everything was good for us.
Yeah, but the question is there anything in that contract that you are aware of that prevents this type of conduct from occurring now that you worked out a deal with the separation with this partner?
The only thing I was able to find as I was rereading it is, per the closing date, he resigned as owner, employee, any position in the company whatsoever, signed a resignation letter that he was no longer part of our company.
All right. So
he was supposed to, by the closing date, he was also supposed to make sure that all of the websites and all of the social medias and advertising no longer had his contact information on it. Since then, we found, I think, 4 that he's still generating leads with his own phone number.
All right, here's the answer to your question, and listen to very carefully. What he's doing potentially is tortious interference with a business practice. Write it down. Tortious interference with a business practice. Based on that contract and what you just said, that he has to resign all official duties and job details there affiliated with the company. What you now need to do is circle back with that lawyer, or if you need somebody in network, email me, because you now have to file an action for an injunction to stop him from doing this type of conduct, which in turn is interfering with your business practice. It's a tort law. So when you talk about injunctions in this case is to stop somebody from interfering or damaging your reputation in the sense of a company or corporation by affecting clients or clientele and income, and all of that can be ascertained as far as evidence and witnesses as to, well, I paid this guy, I thought he worked for you, and then they didn't show up, and then they're now I'm giving you a bad review, etc. So that's the answer to your question as to what's happening, and then the action would be to file an injunction in the court, preferably in front of the same judge where you guys executed the contract and the deal, that they're in breach or violation of that section. There you go.
All right, perfect.
You're
appreciate
welcome.
your help so much.
That's right. That's why I'm here.
Good luck to you, buddy.
Thanks,
I know you want to go out there and just choke him out, though.
Oh, he's been the scummiest of scum since day one, and I've been dying to do that. I swear to you.
I know. Don't do it, though. Trust me.
Don't do it.
In the long run, it won't help out. Good luck,
That's the
man.
Calta justice, Mike. We got to do that. Galvin, give him the disclaimer.
I've held up pretty good.
Whatever he says is
true.
true.
Good morning. You're on with Ask Dom. What do you got? Hello.
Hey, love the show, guys. Hello, can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead. You're on with Ask Dom.
All right, guys. I have a question with HOAs. I have a property that I just bought. They had a lien due to the storms that happened back in October from one of the contractors. We waited for months, and I just couldn't extend it anymore. So the contractor said if we paid our portion, they divided it out amongst the units, that they would give a partial lien and I could purchase the property. I was wondering, now that I've done that, I guess they're settling with the HOAs. Is there a way that I can recoup what I had to pay to the lien holder from the HOA, since they're the ones that are supposed to pay for the, all the repairs on the property?
Well, that's going to be an interesting question depending on what you did in the contract and the title company. So if you consciously paid that lien off because you didn't want to wait and you wanted to access the property and you negotiated a deal, and then that was all in the closing documents as part of the agreement, and that's going to be protected by the title company and then their insurance and their agents, etc., then the counter argument to that question is going to be, well, you got the chance to buy the property and you didn't have to wait for what just happened to happen with all the other units with the HOA. I don't know if that's going to be a winning position. How much money are you talking about?
It was $8,700, $8,750.
All right, that's still a good chunk of change. My thought process is going to be, how long is it going to take to chase that money down, and to what cost and expense and time evaluation? We would need to see the closing documents and the dynamic and the timeline of all of that. If you want to email that to me, Christina Lund, who's my lawyer and of course a sponsor of my show, is our real estate law attorney for the network. She also does a lot of HOAs, but I think it's going to start with those closing documents and then to determine whether or not you've got you have an argument. However, I just don't know how strong it is. So in order to tell you whether or not, listen, if I don't think it's in your best interest as a listener to the show to hire a lawyer, spend good money, chasing bad money, I'll tell you that. I don't want to say, oh yeah, hire us, and you're in 6 months of litigation and then nothing happens, but the lawyers get paid. That's not the way I operate here. So if you want to email me the documents, we'll take a look at it to see if it's worth it. You've got an argument. I just don't know how strong it is, if that makes sense, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I was thinking that might be in my favor is whatever balance they, let's just say they settle at $400,000. Whatever I paid would be deducted, like when the HOAs go to pay the lien holder. So I was like, if they don't, if it's being deducted from the total amount, I would hope that would give me some leg to stand on. But yeah, I'll definitely reach out and see if you guys think it's in my benefit to fight this.
Yeah, we'll look at it. AskTheDom.com. You've got it.
All right, sir. Thank you, and good luck to you. If you didn't get through today, you can reach Dom in his office, 813-251-5550. You can always go to AskTheDom.com. What do you got coming up on your show tomorrow?
I'm going to be just tomorrow going over some of the new laws. I tried to do it last week, but we had a full board of calls for 3 hours, and it was awesome. I mean, so just chilling tomorrow. I'm trying to get caught up on the new laws, and then tonight I'm back on the ice. And I've got Judge Nazarian filling in for our goalie. He's going to be in the net, so he is making his Badgers debut. It's genius, Mike. It's almost illegal to hit something at a circuit court judge, so the other team really can't score upon us. It's just genius.
Now, when he blocks a shot, does he say overruled or denied?
Sustained or overruled. I think would be.
He's got to use
correct.
a gavel in one hand. Well,
that's going to be the stick. He's going to bang the ice. And it's gonna you can gently hit the puck towards His Honor. He'll stop it and then shoot it to me, and then off I go. But no, you can't just hit slap shots.
He should play with a robe over his pants.
And if you hit him, either with the puck or your pads or your stick, he's going to hold you in contempt. I've got deputies that are going to come watch, and we're going to have people arrested right off the ice. So tonight should be a pretty swift victory. I should just
good thing is you only get 2 minutes of contempt.
That's the shift. You're already on the ice for about 2 minutes, if not a minute and a half. But any rate, that's the story for tonight. We'll talk about the game's outcome tomorrow on the show, and then of course I just got a lot of time with the listeners.
Well, you guys will have to wait till Wednesday to
Yeah.
find out the game's outcome. All right, we got to take a break. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone. My wife was having to explain to her friend this weekend why I always talk about killing her.
Tough conversation.
Yeah. My wife, we got insurance the other day, and she's like, I drove from the house to the insurance place, and when I got there, he was like, I don't know if we could do this. He just spent 20 minutes talking about how he wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Hard to insure.
So I had an interesting thing. There's two things I want to talk about today. One I'm just going to make real quick. We're at the beach, and the people in the tent next to us, the guy was smoking a cigar.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I kept saying to my wife, he's outside. What do you want from him? He's outside.
I know, but you have to know that that's just annoying to everyone.
But where do you smoke the cigar? Like, when do you get to just sit on the beach, relax, and smoke a cigar?
No, I get it.
I know.
He has every right to. I think. I don't know unless they have rules at the beach or whatever.
When you're the only guy on the beach and you're not bothered.
I know, but I mean, the guy's like, though, I'm with the whole family. Most of the family's in the water. I'm in my tent. I'm away from everybody else. I want to smoke a cigar. And he's smoking, but of course we could all smell it, and it was making us all nauseous.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I looked at her and I go, it's what they want to do. They have the right to have a good time too.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. His right, but yeah, that really is something else.
Then a little while later, they put on music, and I looked at my wife. She looked. I looked at her. I go, let me guess, you don't like the music either.
Yeah.
She's like, no. I thought of that. And I thought, I think it's, if you're gonna light up a cigar, you should make it when you're around just people smoking cigars or no one. That's the only fair thing to do. And I'm a guy who will smoke a cigar every once in a while. But you got to really be conscious of who's around you. Or you can just be a dick and not, which I think most people are. They just get to the point where like, I don't care anymore.
What was your opening line at the cigar bar?
Yeah.
Can't say it on TV.
Did you think about dropping that to the guy next to you?
Yeah, you guys really want to S&D, don't you? But this is the other thing that happened this weekend. So I hired a guy. Well, I had a guy from India contact me. Now, one of my favorite stories ever is I'm driving in the car with Pete, and Pete gets a potential spam call on his phone. You know those phone calls that say spam on it?
Sure.
And he answers the phone, and the guy asks for a beat. B-E-A-T or B-E-E-T, beat. And Pete goes, when the hell did you ever meet anybody named Beat? It's Pete, you idiot. And the guy's like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, he gets these calls all the time. And the guy's carrying on about doing stuff, and Pete goes, where are you located? He goes, I'm in California. He goes, you're not in California. He goes, yes. He goes, what city? He's like, Sacramento. He's like, quick, what's the zip code? The guy was like, And finally the guy was like, you got me. I'm in India. And Pete's like, and what do you really do? He's like, you do websites? The guy goes, yeah. He goes, you freelance? He goes, yeah. He goes, all right, shoot me an email. Pete hires the guy to do it. I mean, that's Pete.
Yeah.
That's Pete. Or as I like to call him, Beat. So this guy hits me up, and he's like,
Different guy.
He's like, listen, I do this kind of work, and I noticed I could do for you, and I could help you out, and this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, okay. I see. And he actually sent me some examples of what he can do. And I was like, all right, I see it, whatever. So I talked to him, negotiate a price. He says it's going to be this much money a month. That's insane. And he's like, what about this? What about this? What about this? So we get down to let's just say I make a number, $350. Okay. He says, how about $350 and you see if it works, And I go, okay, cool. We'll do that. So I go, how do I send you this money now without worrying that I'm going to get robbed? You know what I mean? Like if I'm now sending money to Bangladesh, and I go, give me your Venmo and I'll Venmo it to you. And I said, what if I just Venmo you $100? Wait a couple of days, see if any of his work's done, and if it is, I'll send you the rest. This way we both know we could trust each other. And he said, here's the problem with that, is that every time I take money out, it charges me over here, and I'm losing money having to do it in 2 different transactions. And I went, all right.
Did you Google that?
Look at Gio.
Did you Google that to see?
I didn't Google.
See, I would have Googled to see whether that's true.
Suspicious.
So then I said, then my wife was like, first red flag. Then I said to him, all right, give me your Venmo. He's like, Venmo and PayPal don't really exist over here.
Okay.
He's like,
send me eBay cards.
Give me your. Can you do a bank account transfer?
Oh yeah, sure.
Let's go right in.
Want my mother's maiden name?
Yeah. No way. So he's like, how about Zelle?
You don't listen to my news.
Zelle connected right to your bank account, isn't it?
Zelle is connected to your bank account. Zelle is going away as far as people outside of your own bank system, whatever, because there's so many scams.
Yes.
Which we have talked about.
Which also I was aware of.
Okay.
And my wife said, oh, no. Oh, no. Zelle is the worst one. Blah, blah, blah.
I thought Zelle was the best one.
Well, Zelle's the best for people you know.
Yeah, Carmen. If you're connected, if you and I are at the same bank or anything like that, whatever, it's fine. And if it's people that you trust. But as far as outside of people you trust and know for sure, it is one that they have said, be very careful because there's a lot of scams.
Right. So I Googled, is Zelle safe to make a transaction with overseas, and blah, blah, blah. And it said no. It said Zelle was the worst.
Alert.
So now you got
3 red flags going.
3 red flags going.
Still talking.
And I wrote back to him and I said, hey, I go, all this stuff is, I go, you got to see where I'm coming from. Doesn't this seem pretty suspicious? You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do that. And he's like, no, if I give you the Zelle, I can give you the QR code and you could do that. And I go, give me the QR code.
Oh my God.
You're still in.
It's $350. I mean, if I lose it, I'm not losing. I'm not.
What is he building for you?
He's working on something. I'll tell you later. So I
hope it's video.
No, it's not video.
I hope it's one of those Fabubu dolls or whatever it's called.
Oh, the boo boo?
Yeah.
No.
Overseas limited edition.
Yeah.
So he sends me the QR code, and I got to pay with my phone. So how do I scan the QR code?
You'd have to send it to
So
your
I
wife.
send it to my wife.
Oh, now he's got 2 phones
Then
locked
grab
in.
her phone.
By the way, now you both have the virus.
Yep.
Scan the thing.
Oh my God! 3 red flags and you're scanning,
and it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And I sent him a screenshot of it. I said it's not working, and he wrote, "We're having trouble with it." And I went, "Oh." Amanda looked at me and she goes, "Are you a moron?" And I go, for some reason I just trust this guy. I feel like he's good.
You just want to see it out at this point.
Yeah. And I looked at it. I go, worst comes to worst, I'm out $350. So
I can't wait to call you later today.
I went back to him and I said, "Hey, that's not working." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, "I have a PayPal."
Of course he does.
We'll just use PayPal. Yeah, but he said the problem is that it costs him so much money to use it.
Yeah.
So I sent him $350.
Oh my God.
Then it takes the exchange rate, and by the time he gets it, it's $244 minus $21 for the transaction. So he's right. By the time he got the money, he got $230 something. So he screenshot it and sent it back to me with the sad face, and he goes, "You see?" And I go, "Yeah, I do see." So now he's had my money for 24 hours, not even. Has he done anything?
No,
not
a damn thing.
No, they wait until you like forget about it.
I bet you the number doesn't work anymore.
He immediately started working.
How do you know?
He sent me a spreadsheet within an hour, and I could see already all the stuff that he's done today. He's already been on it. Raj is my new guy. I know. I didn't think it was going to work out. All these things seem like they were not going to work out. And there's still time.
But also, we don't even know what this is for. You're not telling us whatever. He sent you a spreadsheet. Give me $350. I'll spend you a spreadsheet. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He sent me a spreadsheet of what he was working on, and he's done so far. So
it's
good.
also the same one that he sent to this guy and this guy and this guy.
You negative Nelly.
I mean,
Mike Calta Show. Good morning.
Morning, Mike Calta Show. Medicine Man.
How you doing, man? Oh,
I
it's
still got
Medicine
all my
Man?
10 fingers. Yeah.
Did you see F1?
F1 is a fantastic movie.
Did you see FU?
No.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
I'll show it to you later.
Mike Calta Show. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Mike. This is Sherman from Sarasota. I get your reservations, but I've had, and I can't speak to your guy, but I've had a Rosie from Nigeria for 18 months, and she's about $300 a month. She manages my calendar. She sends me potential posts on Facebook. She does everything. It's amazing. And I used to pay somebody $20 an hour, 20 hours a week to do the exact same thing, and she actually does it better.
Yeah.
So once you open it up, they're good people, man. They are, but you can get scammed.
Yeah, I mean, look, I so far so good. It's only been 24 hours or not even, and it's been working so far. At least I could see that they're already doing work. If they, like Gio said, if he changed his phone number now or whatever, and that'd be a different story. And I also looked the guy up on LinkedIn. I looked him up on Facebook. I looked him up. He's a real person. At least it appears that way. So, well, thank you, Sherman. I'm glad it's working out for you.
Yep. Thanks, man. And it'll help your life out a lot. It's been amazing.
All right. Thank you, brother.
I mean, it is very difficult to create a fake profile.
Yeah.
Shut up, Gio.
Yeah. Also, just to give you a heads up, my friend Prince Ngumbu is going to be contacting you later on.
Is he okay?
He's got some money that he needs to get out of the country and change it to U.S. dollars. So you change it, and then he sends you more. You know what I mean?
I get to keep some
like
of it.
for your time.
Yeah. So you basically you send him $5,000, he'll send you back 15.
Oh yeah. I'm in.
All right. Have
Just
him hit me up.
Takes a little while.
Yeah.
He'll send you a spreadsheet.
Is he from Nigeria?
Maybe.
Okay.
Raj is the guy's name.
Ah, Jesus.
Raj.
Yeah.
Raj, you blind?
I'm dying to know what he's working on. Oh, Joe, you're out. You're so screwed.
How could Joe be out?
It's
how is he going to do a video from Bangladesh?
Who knows?
You're sending them a raw video, and he's tightening it up and
see if you
packaging it.
Get our cruise video for us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't worry, Joe. He's not bringing coffee.
That's right.
Neither's Joe.
I know.
I know who brings the coffee.
Who does?
We all knew. The coffee bitch. That's you, Gio.
Gio, you need to figure something out for when we're at Sky Beach.
Figure something out?
Yeah.
What do I need to figure out?
How are we going to get our coffee in the morning?
Oh, yeah.
At least figure out where we could send Tom.
I was going to say, isn't that vacation coffee bitch is Tom?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just said figure out where we get it. I
I'm
didn't say
off
Gio.
I looked on there. There's Starbucks 2.5 miles away.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Okay, good.
Got a bus.
I'm off the clock.
Do you know, to be honest with you, is that I wouldn't even send Tom. I like to go for the ride. I like to go on a little trip.
Yeah.
Put my seat heat on, put on some mellow Pearl Jam music, and just chill out. That's my.
Not when you're staying at the beach.
Well, it's the morning. It's the
Yeah.
Traffic.
It's all
back in there.
Yeah.
I was at Longboat Key, and I did the same thing. I got off the island. I drove off the island over the bridge into downtown Sarasota. Went to Starbucks. Came back an hour later. I like to go for the ride.
By the way, thanks to everybody filling my head that 4th of July Siesta Key, it was going to take 14 hours to get down there and everything else. I got down there like 8 o'clock.
I know.
We were
No
playing until
traffic.
9:30.
Oh,
No
geez.
traffic at all. It was the easiest in the world. And Tom had parking spots for us and everything. I pulled up and I go, all right, well, here I am.
Now what do I do?
Yeah.
So I wanted to get there early to beat the traffic, and I was going to take a nap before the show. My hotel room is attached to a tiki bar.
Ooh.
So yeah, but I don't mean like a little tiki bar. I mean like it was as if the beach club in Siesta Key had rooms inside it.
Yeah, I like it.
I was just laying on my bed and I listened to this girl sing Pink Pony Club 3 times in an hour. She really sang that song live 3 times in an hour. I was
Listen,
like,
you
I
hit
must
the
be
tip
loving
jar.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while I'd open the door and I'd look out there just to see what was going on, and there'd be girls in tea bags dancing in the middle. I go, this is the best hotel I've ever been.
Wow.
Yeah. And then me and Roger are gonna hang out.
That's the kind of hotel you just leave your door open. See what
Yeah,
happens.
see what's up. See what's up. Yeah.
What's going on in here?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. We got a good week this week. We got